Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning on XFM 104.9. We're back, Steve. It's Saturday.
That's true enough.
Steve Merchant, that is.
Hello there.
I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously.
Hello there.
Carl's still away. Claire Sturgis is back.
That's
Hello.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Hello there, Claire. Nice to see you. I think a lot of people were hoping that Karl will be back this week, but we're pleased to have you.
No, they were actually. I did get some emails during the week.
Really?
Saying what?
Just saying it's really nice to, hear you again on a Saturday afternoon. It's nice, and but you're not really very funny. And when's Karl coming back? You know? So it's sort of being
Sure,
nice
it wasn't
to
to
me.
us.
No, it was definitely
Because they think that as well.
directed to me.
But no one can compete with Karl.
They can't.
Well, we used to sort of like come in and when we discovered Karl early on, we just thought this is comedy gold. Just let him speak his mind. But then we started thinking, we can't follow him now.
Yeah.
So I remember Steve going, look, we've got to come up with some stuff.
We need to chat. If anything we've got to say to each other, we've got to say that in the first 20 minutes, and then you just unleash Karl.
Yeah,
And he's
because
like
it's just you can't follow him, and he's off on one. And they have stories of upbringings with bizarre creatures that lived in Manchester that were half human, half bat and frog and things.
I'd love to take him back to Manchester in some kind of TV documentary. When Karl went home. And just wander back, maybe try and find the amphibian twins or whatever those people were.
They weren't. Yeah, so there was two boys, both had big heads and webbed feet. They weren't related. They didn't hang around with each other.
That was all the information we had.
I went, why not? He went, that would have been too obvious.
Yeah.
Like they look at each other across a room and go, you think I'm coming to see you just because we're a similar species?
Yeah.
You're mistaken, mate. You make your own friends.
One starts to walk over, the other one shakes his head and just mouths, too obvious.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Too obvious.
Out of one of his mouths.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
don't do it, Webby.
Yeah, but anyway, he'll be back shortly, I'm sure.
He phoned me. His dad's ill. His dad's in hospital, so Karl went back to sort of look after his mum. And he was so sweet. He said, "I'm back. I'll just drive my mum around." He said so unbegrudgingly. He just went, "It's like old times." And I said, sorry to hear that." And he went, "That's all right, yeah." I think he's going to be fine. And I said, "How was your holiday?" He went, "Yeah, we're good. Except it were a nudist beach, so didn't tell me."
Of course it was.
I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, sitting on the... I don't know why they have to do it. I don't know why they have to do it. Why do they have to do it?" He went, "Suzanne said they think there's nothing wrong with it, like being a transvestite." Right? I went, "I love the fact that your girlfriend has to tell you what's wrong and right in the world." And he went, "Well, we're walking along the beach, fella coming towards us with knob out." I went, "Oh, what's going on here?" Right? And he said, and because it wasn't all nude, he's walking round, he's stark naked, and he wants the freedom of that, but he's got a big rucksack on his back with his clothes on just to get changed. He went, "So what's the point in that?" Right? And I went, "He should just carry the book." He went, "What, and covered it up?" When he went, "Oh yeah, good idea." See? He went, "But I wasn't happy." He says, and that was the first day, so we didn't go there again.
I just imagine his little face.
Yeah, just going, "All right,
Gobsmacked.
That's out.
Yeah.
That's out. What's that doing out? Why has he got his out?"
I imagine Karl sort of dressed in a suit, in a sort of safari suit, done right up with a cravat. I'm not undressing. I don't want people seeing the flesh. That's for you, love, and no one else.
But I love the fact that as this girl goes, "Karl, they don't think there's anything wrong with it. They're just happy that way." and he in his own mind just goes, "Like being a transvestite." He knows there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm always a little bit suspect about people who like walking around nude.
I
all
think you
the
meant
time.
transvestites.
No, nudists.
What? Hold on. Can you
Well, if you wanna get me
be a
started on
naked transvestite? What are you then?
Yeah, I suppose you're a...
When Eddie Izzard's naked, is he a naked transvestite?
That's an
'Cause the
interesting
clue
metaphysical question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On XFM 104.9.
If you know the answer to that metaphysical question, or indeed any of the famous ones, if a tree falls in a forest and no one hears it, has it fallen over? Any of those.
Excellent. That's brilliant.
Yeah, if you leave the room, Rick,
what's the
does
sound?
it get quieter?
Yeah, what's the sound of one leg hopping?
Exactly. What we got there, Claire?
Do you want some music or
Yeah,
a
I'd love to hear it.
bit
What you
more
got?
chat?
Yeah.
I've got the Vines actually.
Oh,
All
play
right.
it.
Nice.
Hey, Claire, out of the way. No, I'm not talking to you. It's the name of the song by the Vines.
Excellent.
So, yeah. XFM 104.9. I'm
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Claire Sturgis.
It's
Have you ever
not
been to?
fair.
Have you
It's
ever been
not
to a
fair.
nudist beach? Have either of you been to a nudist beach?
Yes.
Have you really?
No, last month I went on holiday to Antigua and then I went on the nudist beach.
Really?
I wanted an all over.
Sure. Because I was with my family once when we went on family holiday with.
I just got you going on and a inspector coming on going, "And the glasses." And the glasses. And you don't wear them there.
No, I went there with it was some friends of my like family friends, like kids. So it was kids my age and my sister's age who and parents were all friends. Go on holiday to this. End up on this nudist beach, not a nudist beach, but where people sunbathe topless or whatever. Or maybe it was just because it was France. Where I think a lot of that goes on, generally.
All beaches in, no, but that's different. The nudist beaches are sort of, they're cordoned off.
Sure, with the cocks and everything.
We can't say that.
You can't say cocks.
Or did you mean the chicken? Do you mean chicken? There's a lot of naked
got
people
farms, a lot of French farms.
Birds around with
There is
them.
a lot of poultry.
And by male bird, I don't mean transsexual.
I don't want to, because that's also offensive.
That is also offensive. So be careful. Whenever,
please be careful. Claire, be careful what you're going to say on
I
there.
just want to say to the radio authority or anyone listening, when we say cock, we are referring to a male bird. And
there is no discussion there. There's nothing. There's no other issue. There's no other ambiguity.
Okay, go on. What are you talking?
So, there's people walking around with their birds and often they got their knobs out as well. So it was just a topless. It was just a topless beach. So we're all on.
So there were tits there as well.
There were some tits.
We've got a family of tits that come and eat the nuts. That chew on my nuts. Go on.
We're confusing.
No, we have. Jane's got a little bag of nuts that she makes me hang out of the window.
Right.
So
you'll often be hanging your nuts out the window,
and the tits
can. Sure.
God, I don't know what.
Please.
Go on with this story.
Sorry. So what I'm saying is.
God.
What I'm saying is.
Yeah.
We went on holiday with family there.
Yeah.
There was some tits. There were some cocks. And I found it all a little bit, because I was about 14 or something, I found it all a little bit disturbing, because I hadn't been introduced to this sort of thing before. Yeah. And obviously my dad was having none of it, a bit like Karl, and obviously my mum wasn't up for that. But the person we went, the mother of the person we went with, she took her top off, and I didn't know where to look, because I didn't want to make an issue of it. I didn't want to, but it was like, because I was with my mate, I was going, well, I wanted to say, well, there's your mum with her knockers out, really. I mean, that's your mum over there.
Hello, Dave. There's your mum's. There's your mum's knockers. There you go. Yeah. There's your dad. There's your dad popped out.
Yeah.
Popped out. His little man. His little fella out there.
Your dad's fella's there. He's wandering about, and
he's having a.
And your mum's got
he's getting a tan on his little
milkers out. So it was all. It was a little bit disturbing, and I've never quite got that image out of my head really, because it was all. But I didn't know where to look. I didn't know what to do.
A friend of mine. I won't say what his name is. Right. He's about 25 now. When he was, I think, 14 and 15, I mean, the worst age, he went to a nudist holiday with his parents and his sister and some of her sister's friends, and he absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
he absolutely.
Well, that's it makes me sort of queasy to think about it, especially if you're with your family and friends. Yeah, because it's. I don't mind looking at nudie ladies that I don't know, really, but I don't want to look at relatives, or people I've grown up with, or indeed the likes of you. I don't want to have to see that kind of flesh, and I don't want to know what's going on underneath those clothes. You've keeping them hidden from me. Well, you haven't. You've shown me much of it in the time I've known you.
So sometimes
there's not a bit of your body I haven't seen at some point. You'll have got your trousers down. Look at the arse. That was, thinking that was hilarious, or the old, the Johnson
feeding the birds on the windowsill. It is strange because there isn't anyone with it. Let's face it, there isn't anyone with it. But I know what you mean.
I think it's because we spend so much of the time covering it up. It's like in the summer months when girls start wearing kind of short sleeve t-shirts or short skirts. You'll have blokes just going mental, just And I think it's because women spend most of the year because it's so cold here, covered up, that men forget what's under there. And then when summer comes around, they can't believe it.
Do actually just hang out of a car window or hang over scaffolding and say, "Get your tits out." I want to go. Has that ever worked?
Has it ever worked?
Have you? And what's your success rate with that?
I was off to my big job in the city, but I got 20 minutes. Why not? Shall I come up there? Or are you going to come down?
Oh dear!
Extraordinary.
Oh, right. What we got coming up? Quick, keep them hooked.
Well, Rick,
we've got some songs and some more chat.
There'll be some chitter chatter, and there'll be some songs. We had an email last week from a fella calling himself Paul. I don't know if that's his real name. He said that sometimes
I'm suspicious.
I'm already suspicious. He said that some time ago we played a cracking Johnny Cash cover version of U2's One. Remember that? I think maybe the last time you were here, Claire.
Oh, class.
And he says he's been trying to track down that album. He says, unfortunately, like an idiot, I didn't listen to it, and I didn't catch the name of the album. Could you, by any chance, send me the album?
He's having a laugh.
He's having a laugh.
What, for free?
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Actually, email him back. Say, Paul.
Shall I do it now?
Give us £8 for no reason.
I've also called him some quite offensive names.
Good though, that.
I'll put from Gervais.
Oh dear, he's not gonna like that.
That's pretty grim.
Nor's his mother.
No,
You shouldn't have brought her into it.
indeed.
Johnny Cash.
Oh, they're nuts.
Johnny Cash. Change from a Durex machine. You get it?
Oh, that's classic. Johnny Cash and his cover of U2's One, magnificent tune. That's from the album American 3, Solitary Man, that was released in 2000. And I've just checked that email that Paul, if indeed that is his name,
Yes.
sent us, Rick. And he didn't ask for a copy of the album. He asked for the name of the album.
Right.
So I feel a little bit bad that I sent that email back insulting him and his mother.
Yeah.
And also, of course, I CC'd it to his mum as well,
Yeah.
and many of her friends. So
Send another one.
I feel.
I think we can get around
really-
this. I'll tell you what Paul would like if that is his
If
real
indeed
name.
his name, yeah.
He'd like some adverts.
I'd
wouldn't
love
he?
some bloody adverts, Paul.
Oasis, Little by Little, on XFM 104.9. I'm just moving the mic there. Hold on, I'm getting comfortable. There you go. Right, sit up. I was
A
landed.
lot of people do
listening to
that. A lot of people do that during the song. A lot of the old pros. No, a lot of the old
No, I
pros
like
like
that song.
Foxy
That's
and
great,
Tarrant and
that.
the like.
They were on Top of Pops yesterday, but they did My Generation.
Any good?
Yeah, very good. I mean, you know.
Was it close to the original, or did they make it their own?
No, both. It was pretty close. They did, musically it was close, but they had a certain.
Was it Noel singing or Liam?
Liam, very, very cool, very cool. Good
No, he's
swagger,
an amazing-
attitude back.
yeah.
I think back on form.
A lot
for
of people tell me
Oasis.
though that if you go to any of these big stadium gigs they do now, it's an absolute nightmare because a lot of the fans are really grim. I mean, I've spoken to two people independently who've both been at gigs where there have been fans weeing on other fans' shoes. That's not what I want from a gig.
That's not nice.
No,
They
that's not
own them
good.
then.
Well, yes, apparently.
That's theirs then.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? If you wee on something?
Yeah,
that's
you own
yours.
it.
That's
It's in cat
yeah,
law.
because cat law. Yeah, cat
Yeah.
law is if you wee on
Yeah.
something, then you own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you live by cat law.
Yeah, I do.
You do live because my wallet I think you own,
Yeah.
and
Several telephone boxes.
much of my hair.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about nudie beaches.
Yeah.
Because I still can't get around.
I don't know
the
why
idea
they
of-
only play volleyball.
No, that's what they do. Don't
Surely
they?
there's other games you could play. I think French cricket would be slightly more.
All the pictures I've ever seen of news colonies always seem to be quite attractive women and some fairly grizzled sort of 45-year-old men. I don't know if that's generally the clientele that it just happens to work that way. But I'm quite looking forward to getting to around the 45 mark. I'm just cruising down.
Happy birthday! Right, I'm off. Where are
Exactly.
you going without your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at what point? I mean, you can't go into a nudist colony, can you, without taking your clothes off? You can't.
I don't know if there's a door policy where there's that sort of
No, I
people
think
go-
there is. I'm sure.
Oh, actually, no, because when I went on my nudist beach, there was actually a security guard.
Stopping you from
naked.
No.
No, Claire.
That's very
Would it be
strange.
possible for a bloke who was, say, a fairly good swimmer to swim up to the beach in a wetsuit and not have to come?
Okay, well, yeah.
Let's say for the sake of it that this person, had some time on his hands in a week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and he'd made quite a bit of money
He
recently. and he had some
He
time.
trained 9 hours a day at the lengths in the pool,
Yeah.
thinking if I can get
Yeah.
to the Eurostar de France.
It could work. It could work.
Yeah. So what was your nudist beach experience? This was not a colony.
No,
Not
no,
a
it
colony
literally
of
just was a
nudists.
choice that this place had a few beaches. One of them was a nudist beach.
And
if
could you
wanted
see
to
the
be all
nudist
over.
beach from the regular beach?
No, you couldn't. You see,
Right.
it was just round the
What about with
corner.
binoculars?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But you see, my worry is, as a healthy young man...
Yes, you're not
if-
healthy, young man, are you?
No, but I'm talking about you two.
Right, sure.
You're pretty healthy young men. How awkward it must be for you on a nudist beach if you do happen to see a very good-looking naked lady. What you do if you...
Well, that's the reason I've not gone to any.
Okay.
Claire, just exactly that worry.
Because it is very off-putting.
Yes. If it sounds like this is a confession.
Exactly, yeah.
Go on,
That
what
did
happened?
actually happen to us.
Really?
An older
Go
gentleman.
on.
An older gentleman obviously was enjoying his time on the beach.
Right, explain more. I
And
don't
then
quite-
came over to chat. And you just don't know where to...
Sorry, so hang on. So he approached you,
Yeah, for a chat, as you do. People are friendly.
right, without wishing to get too lewd, within a state of arousal. Is
How
that the
far
case?
can we go down this?
No, I'm not trying to sort of. I don't want to get too kind of, graphic or gynecological.
Have you noticed...
Gynecological.
I was going to say how quiet Ricky was keeping
But so
at
he
this
came
point.
over. He came over.
Well, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about telling this story.
But I think it's an interesting. I think this is
Yeah.
an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because so he came over and he was just chatting away.
Yeah.
Quite proudly.
Yeah. Well,
Standing to
eventually got
attention.
quite...
Yeah. And why was this?
God.
Claire? I mean, not wishing to be disrespectful, but he's a
I
man.
don't know.
He's been around a bit. Were you reading erotic poetry? What were you?
I was talking about the weather.
Right.
About how nice it was today.
And he approached in pole position, or did he?
No.
Or did he?
I don't like it anymore.
Fine, okay.
I don't like it anymore.
Let's leave it then.
But
Let's
that's
leave
what
it.
I did. I actually ran away.
You ran away. That's
I
terrible.
went
insult.
swimming.
Was he French? Was it quite tricky to speak to him?
Oh, no, he spoke perfect English.
Sorry, during the break, like Claire said, I went on the switch ones, right? And this man came over, an old fella, and I said, and she started off, but I said, he had the biggest knob I've ever seen. And then I laughed, and then she went, and then it got bigger. And I went, you can't tell it then. I was worried about that. But she left out the funny bit and you just went all weird. Yeah. So, play Bob Dylan. Only Bob Dylan can get us out of this. This is off his last album, Love and Theft. It is the only track I really like, I'm afraid. I didn't get on with the rest of the album because it was too hoedowny and country blues and stuff, which is just not my sort of thing. But this is a nice track called Mississippi. Bob Dylan. Mississippi. Off the album Love and Theft. I must admit, not my favourite Dylan album, but that's a nice track, isn't it?
It's a lovely track, actually. I just noticed there you've brought in 3 CDs.
Yeah.
You bring those 3 in every week, don't you? You just play from those 3 CDs, or what? You substitute the Dylan for different Dylan albums,
Yeah,
and the other
so
2 remain the same.
Well, no, I've got playing a different Cat Stevens. I've got Tea for Tillerman. I've never brought that in before.
Yes,
Different
you have?
album altogether. No.
I've seen it before.
No, I've never played anything off Tea for Tillerman. I've played it off Catch Bullet 4, Teaser and a Fire Cat.
You don't have a sort of deal with Island Records to try and keep that Cat Stevens back
Jimmy
catalogue
Webb.
afloat? No one's really shifting it.
I think it might just be CDs that are in the bottom of a bag.
This is why I'm
I'm so
thinking.
lazy
It's just you've
that
got
I
one
bought it.
carrier bag that you bring back.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to those later.
Yeah, go on.
No. I was just really wondering, Rick, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but could I have some adverts?
Yeah. Feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Hello there, Steve Merchant here.
Of course you are. And so's Claire Sturgis in a way.
That's true enough.
So
That's true enough.
Yeah.
Rick, I partied last night, Rick, like it was 1999.
Really?
All
What
over
sort of
again.
old-fashioned sort of way, some old records.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, on my own. In my flat, crying.
Just like 1999.
Yeah, just like 1999. Now, went to see Prince at the Hammersmith Apollo, and I tell you this, I mean, if that's a man whose career is going down the pan, then I'm sorry.
Then I hope ours does.
Then I hope ours does as excitingly as that
Does.
because he
Did.
was stunning. I mean, he is. A lot of people I know have seen him in the 80s or whatever, and when he used to descend from a ceiling in a little
I
red
know.
Corvette and stuff. But he is breathtaking. He's
I
like
always thought he was-
what it must have been to see Elvis Presley.
Well,
I've
no,
not seen anyone who's electrifying on stage.
I mean, I think like most people had a bit too much for him, and that wasn't because it was going downhill. It's because he churned out double albums like most people churn out singles, and you don't know what you should.
You can't take
like.
it all in.
There was just too much.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sort of the end of the 80s phase either too much. But
that whole period when he was fighting with Warner Brothers and he started wearing masks.
Slave
and I
and-
think everyone just thought, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You're potty. But he's going to come out the other side of that.
Great
And,
tracks, though, great pop tunes, and he's written. I think he's brilliant.
I don't bandy this word around, Rick, as you know.
Go on.
But I'd like to use the word genius.
I thought you were going to say I'll pay for that.
No. Genius.
Oh wow.
Genius. Because I would
They're
say.
strong words, Steve. They're
It is a
strong
strong word,
words.
Rick. It is a
Can
strong
you
word.
back it up? Have you got any example of his work that we could play now on XFM to show that he is a genius?
I will in just one second. Thanks for asking. But can I try and justify that? Can I just, because it is a controversial phrase
Yeah.
to use. Prince is a genius, and let me
Yeah.
tell you why. On his first album, maybe on a couple of his first albums, he played all the instruments.
Brilliant. Like Squiddly Diddly.
Exactly.
In one episode of that I saw. He was playing the piano. Diddley was playing the piano with his 2 tentacles.
But that's-
Then he was like playing drums with 2 tentacles at the back. He was standing on 2 tentacles, which was the other one free for trumpet.
That
So-
sounds like genius to me.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what Mr. Prince.
So,
The only thing I would say about the concert last night, 3 hours. He played for 3 hours
Yeah.
non-stop. Well,
Yeah.
almost 3 hours non-stop. Didn't take a break. But cracking band, only 5
I'm
people.
actually taking a break, just reading a paper, having
Yeah.
a coffee. Going, what are you looking at?
And also very
I've got
witty.
20 minutes by
Very-
law.
Very witty as well, because a lot of people imagine him being quite dry and quite sober. It was
Yeah.
very funny. But sadly, Prince now. Well, I don't mean to be offensive,
couldn't see him
but
'cause he was
as
so
far as
small.
I'm concerned,
What?
he's now a Jehovah's Witness. He's
he?
now a Jehovah's Witness.
So he's
And-
going to come round tonight.
Well, no, but at the end, he did sort of spout on about his beliefs.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit like I'd sort of, do you know what I mean? Like I'd sort of paid 40 quid and I'd queued up and I'd sat for 3
You
hours
paid 40 quid?
to then be preached at. a little bit. So that was anything that put
Well,
a
I'll
damper
tell you
on it for
what,
me.
good job for him. He was good value because he'd have got an earful from you if he did. Imagine if he'd not played the singles or only did
Exactly.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'd have been livid. I'd have just stormed out. I'm out of here. But I did, because I don't know.
Prince, so you've had, interesting, Steve Merchant says Prince is a genius. This is XFM 104.9 coming up to 2 o'clock. Prince is a genius. Can we open the phone lines, please? What's the phone number there, Claire?
08700 800 1234.
Me and my mate were talking about when people say genius and they do bandy it around willy-nilly, and it's sort of like a comedian or something. They go, he's a genius. And we think that there's people in cancer research sort of laboratories and AIDS, and they're going, we lost another one to ITV.
Yeah,
Why didn't he go into science? He could have been the new Newton, but no, he's getting the ratings up for 5.
Exactly.
So, but Prince is a genius, is he?
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you'd like to email.
Prince, genius or little fella? It's up to you.
But when you are Jehovah's Witness, I don't know much about the faith. But are you obliged when you sign up to sort of do your time going door to door? Because it would be amazing. Imagine Prince turning up at your door and just, hi, can I come in? Well, I don't know. And and just coming in and I'll sing you some of the hits, but I'd like you to buy a copy of this afterwards. I'm not really interested. Which ones are you going to play? Which ones are you going to play? 'Cause I'm not a big fan of. I don't like If I Was Your Girlfriend and anything from Diamonds and Pearls. I'm not interested in. So shoot off.
Yeah, I quite.
Because I thought they were going to start selling the Watchtower at the end.
The most beautiful. I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's those fat people in it.
Does it make him a genius?
Oh, call up 10235 96429. Prince, genius or bloke with hair?
Well, this has got to be proof of his genius. He played it last night, and it's just dynamite.
There is Strawberry Scarf.
Prince, of course, and Raspberry Beret, one of the tunes he played last night, and breathtaking, I have to say. I can't sing his praises enough. Although, didn't manage to get myself into the after-show party, where Prince is often renowned for playing with the likes of, jamming with the likes of Rolling Stones.
What would have been your approach to get in?
There, Steve Merchant here, XFM, Ricky Gervais show. Any chance I could come in
to your party?
To your party, please?
I'll be honest, can I call you Lanky?
Well, if it help me get in, yeah.
It won't, but thank you anyway. I'll be honest, Lanky, your chances are slim to none. 4 eyes.
Okay. All right. I enjoyed the concert, if that is any...
Okay.
I could talk about it on the radio. I'm going
to take away that slim.
Okay.
It's none now,
Right.
freak.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So go away, yeah?
Cheers.
Okay. Was it something like that?
It was not dissimilar, Rick. There was a lot more profanity last night. And punches were thrown.
Was it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was breathtaking. How's it working out for you, Rick? How's it working out for you being a celeb? How is that working out? How's that panning out for you? Is that all right? Is that working all right, Rick? Is it? Hey, all the fame and everything. How was David Bowie on Tuesday? I read about that. Why did I have to read about your presence at the David Bowie gig in the Evening Standard? Why did you keep that from me? Why did you keep that from me?
Right, okay. Right, I know what you're thinking. I got an invite. It was freebies and I didn't
Because I
invite
discussed
you.
this in the past. I said, if you get invited to David Bowie or any of the big name concerts, I got to go as well. That's the rule. The rule is that we make the TV show, you're in the show, you become famous, fine, but I need to be able to also get the benefits of that.
Well, I didn't go. Did you read this in the Standard?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no. It said...
Well, it was in the paper, Rick. It was in the paper.
It said present at the concert. It's absolutely true. I'm not bullshitting. Absolutely true. In the concert were Ricky Gervais and Jonathan Ross. Now, we were invited, but we couldn't go. Neither of us could go. So I just think they must have seen a copy of the guest list or someone said they were coming, or they just guessed. But I didn't go. I couldn't go. So there you go. It was Wednesday and I couldn't go. If I'd have gone, you'd have been there, mate.
Rubbish. Because what worries me is that you were invited or you requested tickets and then you didn't go.
No. What happened was the Bowie's people just said, "Are you coming to the concert tonight?" And I said I couldn't. But let me tell you something.
Wait a minute.
To get you off this track, right? The next night we did go to dinner with Bowie at someone's house. Well, look, wait, listen. It was a small affair. It was me and Jane, Jonathan, and Jane. It was, David,
First names.
Yeah, no, and, I think it was old friends of the family. It was a beautiful house. And, it was just us lot, and, Richard E. Grant and, Pete Townsend and Charles Saatchi and that. And it was just, I think it's and it was set places as well, so I couldn't have got another. It was weird because we got there. It said 8 for 8:30, and I got there at like 8:05. And Jamie, we can't go too early. And we went in there. And we the servants gave us a drink, and we were standing there. And I was looking around. It was an amazing house. It was a beautiful house, and there's Damien Hirst paintings and Lucian Freud. And I thought, well, when the host comes in, I'm going to go, you didn't tidy up for us, did you? But I was actually so overwhelmed. And in through the door, let himself into the door, was Richard E. Grant. And I went, all right. He went, yeah, I'm Richard. I went, yeah, all right. And I went, just let yourself in. He went, yeah, I live next door. I went, oh, okay. And then David Bowie came in, and he came over and spoke to me, and he went, I've just seen your video, and then this isn't helping, is it? Because this isn't helping.
Well, the phrase I was just going to pick you up there on was, I've just seen your video. Because what? No, I just feel that what. Just for a second. What I feel that David should know is that it wasn't made sort of solely by you, or written entirely by you, or directed entirely by you. If it happens to feature you amongst a myriad of other actors, all of whom are brilliant and equally worthy of an invite to that particular do.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that the person that's representing the show, what got you a place around this table, you'll notice the one person that was invited is you.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah. Well, there's a very good reason
And
for
a
that.
woman, what you know, who wasn't involved with the show. Your girlfriend.
Well, we've got partners. You got, that's it.
But once again, she could have stayed at home.
You could have gone in on place. Well, I did actually say, if ever I get invited to see Woody Allen, and it's two people, that it would have to be you and Jane that went, because you're both bigger fans than me, and I promised that. And so she went along with that.
So David enjoyed the show, did he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah.
And how did the evening pan out? Was it suitably rock and roll?
It was very nice. It was really nice. A pleasant.
What did you have to eat?
I had. There was nibbles sort of coming round.
Nice.
And then,
they fed you the food, didn't they? I bet they fed you the food.
And then we had. What was it? What was for starter? It was like a ravioli thing for starter. I thought I won't have too much. I filled up for the fish dish. The fish was lovely. Then there was a sort of chestnut mousse.
And what did you talk about with David Bowie?
Just, music.
Yeah.
Music.
You appearing on his next album.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what? Seriously, what? Because I'm interested to know.
It was really nice. He's really so nice and normal. And he actually came over and he said, "I've just seen your video." And then he went. He said, "Are you going to get the band back together?" He meant he'd seen the Room 101, and
Right.
he was basically taking the mickey out of me. And he was going, "No, I thought it was really good."
Because you were just a sort of Bowie rip-off,
Exactly,
weren't you, essentially?
No, it was really nice and normal affair. Seriously, it was just really. I was going, oh my god, there's so and so, there's so and so.
Yeah.
But it was we really enjoyed it. It was really pleasant, and everyone was, And at the end, the people whose house it was friends of his, like sort of really old friends of his, got out a photo album, just like you do, and those pictures like David Bowie. And
Dave, yeah, sure. Well, no, I mean, that's the great thing about DB
Pop.
is he's...
and Iggy Pop when they were cooking, and David and I was sort of going, look at Iggy cooking, and he was laughing like you do a mate you haven't seen. It was so sweet. It was just so nice. And then I'm gonna see play a record, Claire, because it is actually a little bit annoyed with me. Play a record.
Then Robert De Niro popped in.
Yeah.
And it all got a bit depressing.
And Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And he went, do you know anyone that likes my work more than you do? I went, I don't think so. I don't think so. Karl. Dreaming of You on XFM 104.9.
One of the only tunes on the album I think worth listening to.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Is it really?
But everyone's singing its praises like they're the saviours of British rock, but it just sounds like the Inspiral Carpets, and I don't mean that as a good thing.
We were
Skeleton Key as well, Steve.
That's not too bad, but the rest is...
all right.
No, I think it's not. I think it's more sort of like 1978, 79, sort of those. Brit
I don't know what that means, Rick.
Well, I don't think I've ripped off the 90s. I think
Old hat, you mean? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like it.
Let me just return very briefly to your
God.
No, I don't. I'm not going to embarrass you, but just returning very quickly to your dinner date with David Bowie. What intrigued me, as you say, is that when you
No, it wasn't because of The Office. It was through I think because I met him with Jonathan Ross.
Sure, no, but what I thought was interesting is
people he'd met over this time. Because I think he was going back to
Of
America.
course, but I like the fact you say that he came came over to you and said, I saw your tape last night. You know, I just like the idea that people are sort of saying, you'll be having lunch tomorrow with Ricky Gervais. I don't know who that is. Well, there's a tape, watch that, and you'll be able to engage in some conversation. He's a minor celebrity here in Britain. He's had a relatively successful TV show, but we think he's a bit of a one-trick pony. Probably won't be able to repeat that success, so probably won't need to be eating with him in the next 5 years, but be polite tomorrow. He was a big fan of yours. He used to embarrass himself in the 80s doing a sort of vague pastiche of you, and other than that, there's not much else to say, really. Just be polite to him and then move on. Okay, who else is... You know, it's just sort of... It's very odd that he was given a tape. It's like someone... you know, if you were doing a chat show, you imagine Michael Parkinson would be given a tape.
I know, yeah.
Just watch this, David.
Oh, actually, I think he's been a fan for a long time.
Oh, what?
I think he's followed my career from the 80s.
Sure.
No, when you put it like that, it's not as flattering, is it?
It's very
But he
odd.
was very nice and very polite, and we got on like a house on fire.
Sure.
No, he's great.
Did you do your impression of him?
No, of course I didn't.
Did you not? Did you feel like the urge to snap into it just occasionally?
And I didn't. I was just going, that's David Bowie, that.
Yeah.
That's still David Bowie. That's David Bowie talking to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's David Bowie talking to me now. Yeah, that looks like David Bowie. Yeah, that was what was going through my head.
Yes.
And we're talking about his songs, and like, that was bizarre. It was quite surreal, and you know, and I do know a lot about his stuff, because I mean, he's quite a musical hero of mine.
Yeah.
And so it was.
You didn't mention Tin Machine.
I didn't mention Tin Machine.
Because I'd just be there just thinking, don't mention Tin Machine, don't mention Tin Machine.
Yeah.
Don't even bring it up, don't even say you like it, because you don't know what he feels about it.
You see, I think if people listen to this show, they go, don't invite Steve Merchant because he's insulting. He insults people, he sends emails to people when he reads them wrongly.
Yeah.
He'll bring up a period of your life you don't want to talk about.
Yes.
Get the little short fat one. He's a lot more polite.
Sure.
Leave out the lanky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably wouldn't say lanky, Rick. They don't know what I look like because they listen to me on the radio. I think they're insulted. They might say, oh, you know, West Country, oik or something. Yeah. But
who was it I was listening to? Someone yesterday. There was someone had a Bristol accent.
Fascinating.
And no, I think, it was one of those, the Fame Academy. Disappointed, but I think you'll have to get into it. Bit of a shambles at the moment, but I mean, no, there's no investment. I didn't know them. And one of them had a Bristol accent, and I just thought, it really is a stupid accent. What have we got lined up there? What have we got?
Well, a bit of John Spencer blues.
Oh, I
explosion.
love this. I love this.
Yeah.
This is an old classic I brought in today, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Hello.
Don't even start on that, Rick. There's so much I could attack you about. I mean, look at you. You're laughable. John Spencer Blues Explosion.
Oh, you do it.
Well,
Sorry.
no, I just thought I would.
Yeah.
On account of I brought it in.
And then someone was complaining that we speak over each other.
Yeah, we had an email saying we gabble too much.
And we both went, I don't think we do.
Yeah. Did you say that? I didn't hear you. I was talking at the time.
Yeah.
Right Place, Wrong Time by John Spencer.
Yeah. I don't.
We also had an email. You didn't enjoy it? You didn't enjoy it? No. We also had an email saying... Again,
no, go on. I won't. I did this. Go on. Sorry. No, you.
You can see why that would annoy me.
I know.
You can see why that might annoy me.
Take your headphones off then, because it must be louder in your headphones. Because I don't wear headphones.
No, I'm not so much thinking of me as the people listening at home.
Okay.
The people who pay our wages.
Go on then.
We had an email that said. But I don't know who's the victor in this, Rick. I don't know who's winning with you making that noise. What? You're the only person whose enjoying it.
But if I only do this for my amusement.
But there's a handful of people listening, Rick, whose Saturdays, Rick, are empty. They've got nothing. Okay. They're running on empty, and this is all they've got.
Okay.
And they want conversation. They want an interesting
what are you going to say then? It depends if it's interesting or not.
Well, let me say it before you make the judgment.
Okay.
So, all right, what about this? If you don't like it, if it's not interesting, then you make the noise.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So this is just, we had an email.
Right.
It said, is Claire Sturgis drunk when she does the show? I swear to God, that was a real email. I've lost it now. But
really?
So does that warrant the noise, or?
No, that's all right. That's quite interesting, yeah.
Quite interesting.
No, she's not. No, she's not drunk, is she?
Bit coked up.
That's not true.
Yeah, just
it's not true.
The old Charlie.
No, not true at all.
No, you don't do drugs, do you, Claire? You're not into drugs, are you?
No.
Yeah, you're clean now.
I am now, yeah.
How did that go for you, the detox?
It was great. It's good. Mainly thanks to you two.
Yeah.
The support.
At least you don't have to steal so much now to feed the habit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are there any drug addicts on this station?
No, not anymore. No.
Because I bet there are. I mean, you don't have to name names, but what about initials? Are there any skag eggs, any smackheads at all? Seriously. Because I'm intrigued.
Not anymore, no.
Can you tell me off air who's a drug addict?
Off air, I'll be happy to tell you.
There are
some.
Yeah,
there were. Not anymore. No.
What do you mean? They what they got
No,
rid of
they
them?
weren't. Stop this.
Are there any people who
No.
they think that they've got it under control, but they haven't really? It is.
Yeah.
There are some, aren't
They
they?
go in, they think that no one will notice, but they've got no pupils.
Yeah.
And they just stare at you for ages and go, what? At the end of each sentence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's a couple of drunkards, I know, but there's no... It's boring now? Okay, play a record, it's boring. Ricky Gervais is telling us it's boring.
Queens of the Stone Age. There. No one knows. It's going well.
I'm
40
enjoying
minutes
it,
to go.
yeah, not bad, yeah. Yeah.
Adverts or what?
What do you reckon? Who's loving them? Getting Away With It from Electronic, of course. Fantastic
Great.
tune, yeah. No, it's
That's
a beautiful
a
tune,
mutual favourite of ours. We both like that, don't we, Steve?
We do indeed,
both
yes.
like that.
We are mutually appreciative of that track. Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais, of course, friend of the stars. Claire Sturgis is here. My name's Steve Merchant. Ahoy.
Yeah, XFM 104.9.
So I saw you the other day, because I haven't seen you this week, but I did see you walking down the street holding a gum shield that you just bought. How'd that work out for you, the boxing?
Oh, it was really good.
Because we talked about, are you aware of this, Claire, that he wants to become a boxer? This is something that Ricky talked about the other week on the air. He suddenly decided at the age of 40-something that boxing is really
Well,
the
no,
profession he should
hold
have
on.
taken up.
Like 40-something means 47. I'm just 41.
Okay.
I am 40-something, but 40-something is like a euphemism for nearer 50.
Yeah.
So don't say 40-something.
Okay.
Say 30-something.
Yeah. So yeah, he's taking up. But apparently, there's something called white collar boxing. Claire,
Yeah.
did we mention this last week?
No, you didn't know, but I didn't know something about. I think you mentioned it.
Yeah,
before, but
he
not last week.
he
White
bas-
collar boxing.
Yeah, it's basically it's like a kind of it's like a classier version of Fight Club, the film Fight Club. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
So instead of they don't meet in sort of dingy cellars, they meet in office blocks. Or,
And it's usually for charity at the Grosvenor or something, or a big hotel, I don't know. And you just have like a bill on there and you punch each other for
you
charity.
serious?
Yeah. But anyway, I've been training boxing for a while now, just like, the pads and everything. And last week we started on sparring, and it is a different level. Honestly, I can work out now for an hour on the pads, and I did about 1.5 rounds, and it was like I was asthmatic. Because you're also, the trainer, who is a bit of a boxer himself, put the gums in and he goes, okay, I'm not going to, and I was giggling with fear. And he said, you got to get a gum shield just in case. And that's where he saw me. I'd gone to the Lonsdale shop, and I got a gum shield.
I said this before, Claire, is that I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, Ricky, you've known him for a while
Yeah.
now. He's not mentally tough, which is a
Yeah.
problem, I think. He's not sort of psychologically, he's quite weak. Like, he's scared of a lot of things, cars.
Spiders.
I mean, I've seen him, like, edgy, like if a car blows its horn and he's in the house. Do you know what I mean? And he'll hear it outside. What's that? Is it coming through the door? Is it? No, it's all right, Rick. We're on the 8th floor, and it's across town. It's fine. Don't worry.
I don't like crossing roads.
No, he can't. I mean, I've never seen a man so
And
terrified.
on the motorway, if someone's going on the motorway, I'm looking at the speedo, and if it's like 86, 76, then I'm going, well, let's go in the slow lane. And I'm looking, my eyes like saucers, just taking in all the information. Yeah.
Because he can't drive
That's
as
a
well.
rational fear, though, isn't it? Roads
But I
are
think it's
scary.
because you can't drive.
Yeah, possibly,
So, for instance, the fact that I've seen. I mean,
Actually, Ricky, because I can't drive and I do exactly the same thing on motorways.
so that's all right. Yeah.
But do you do this, Claire, which is when you're in the back of a cab and you feel the cab's going too fast, despite the fact that you're, say, driving up Shaftesbury Avenue in rush hour.
Yeah.
So you're never going to pick up a great deal of speed.
Yeah.
But Ricky he won't mention it to the driver, I feel you're going a bit too fast. He'll whisper it to me.
No,
He's
see, I
basically
wouldn't do
suggesting
that,
to me that I should say something. Because I'm Ricky Gervais off the telly, I don't want to cause a fuss. You better do it, Steve, because you're nobody. That's basically what he's
No, but
insinuating.
roads
So I've
are
always got to
scary.
sort of make the complaint, or
Yeah.
I've got, But
And,
you're terrified of you're terrified of that. You're terrified of spiders, as we know.
Yeah.
Cobwebs. You're terrified of pictures of spiders.
There's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
I know who made those webs, Steve, and they live there.
Yeah, it was you that got the certificate, wasn't it, raised on the Spider-Man film? So they couldn't show the trailer before, you'd gone to bed. Are you scared of Spider-Man? Does he terrify you?
No, I'm not scared of Spider-Man. No, I'm not scared of anything. But I got used to the, when I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, that one that kept walking off the stream, I got used to him. I got to know him.
Louis Geller?
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all right.
So you're scared of that?
Tarantulas
And,
aren't as scary as the bath ones. Tarantulas are sort of like more furry.
But what about these? Because you know these programs where they'll have people on and they'll sort of like I saw a show once where it was about phobias and a woman was terrified of dogs and a psychologist kind of got her to spend some time with the dog and slowly you've got no urge to sort of try and have that therapy done and so you can maybe deal with your which is basically, let's be honest, a woman's concern. It's a woman's fear, isn't it? Essentially,
that I stand on a chair.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but I saw one. What's that one? He's really nice. He's not Jerry Springer. He's really nice, and he has weird people on it. What is it?
Montel Williams?
No.
Montel Jordan?
No. About 50.
This could go on for-
Maury.
Yeah,
Maury Povich.
Yeah. He's the one without glasses, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who cares? You saw Maury Povich.
Yeah, and there was like these women on there, right? And trailer trash. And they were going, you're scared of snakes, aren't you? And then a woman would go on a snake and she'd be screaming, knocking things over. And I go, well, that's not doing anyone any good. Really?
Yeah.
That's just for the audience to prove her point that she's terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like tinfoil, and someone brought on millions of bags of tinfoil and she was screaming,
What, she
hugging
was
him.
scared of tinfoil?
Yeah, that's worse, isn't it?
Scared of tinfoil is pretty mad.
Yeah, well, it's irrational. You
I know
can't
someone
link it back.
who's afraid of buttons.
Yeah, anything.
Afraid of buttons?
Yeah, 'cause there's
Afraid
something
of buttons.
weird going on in your head, isn't it? It's some sort of weird symbolism.
But I understand the snake one or the spider one because I understand, there are poisonous spiders and snakes.
Well,
but
it also
tinfoil
could be sort of like
buttons?
chemical memory. Yeah, that could be, but it's usually some,
But how do you? Because I don't know. Because I don't have any irrational fears, particularly.
Well, don't confuse.
Except when you're flatulent. That I'm terrified of because you never know when he's going to spring because he's not got any of the social graces, Ricky. He'll just think it's funny to just pass wind, dinner. I don't imagine he did it during dinner with Bowie, but if I'm having lunch with him, it's because he'll just start grinning, and it's on the way, Claire. There's something in the post when Ricky starts when his lips curl up, you're having lunch maybe, here it comes. And it is, I'll tell you, it is eye-watering stuff. I mean, it's intense.
Oh, tell that story when you're on the train.
There is only one smell that is worse than Ricky Gervais' flatulence. I was on a train once and, a guy was on there with his dog and the dog passed wind, right? I don't know what he'd been feeding it, like sheep or something. Cattle. He must have been feeding it some, like intestines or something. It was intense. This smell pervades the carriage, because they're all kind of air conditioned or they're tight, so there's nowhere for the smell to escape. So it's just kind of spreading, like in this kind of invisible sort of stench that fills up the carriage. I tell you, people's eyes were bleeding. Do you know what I mean? It was like, that's how, but it was unbelievable. I felt like my face was melting, like that bit at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was how it felt, right? And the bloke, who was obviously a bit embarrassed, said, I don't know sometimes. I don't know who's worse, with their flatulence, people or dogs. And I wanted to go, I've got an idea. How about dogs? What about your dog? It was unbelievable. But it's that, let's try and make a joke of it. No, get off the train at the next stop. It was just, I don't like people with dogs anyway, just generally. You'll see people, no, Rick, when you see people walking down the road with dogs and they just let a dog, do its ones or its twos on the side of the road and then they just walk on. I just don't know what that is.
No,
it's
you're
like,
not meant to.
it's
That's wrong,
No, but it is right. And it really winds me up because you'll see people, it'll be like old ladies or kind of toffs or something like that. And they were the sort of people who will complain about, bad language on TV or youths, or ne'er-do-wells hanging out by bus shelters.
Yeah.
But they're happy for their dogs to, go crapping on the sidewalk. They anger me, people with dogs who just are irresponsible like that. Do you know what I mean?
agree. Well, that's nothing to do with liking dogs, is it? That's arrogance of people who think it's...
But there are a lot of people, as I say, who are kind of, you know what I mean, who think they're better than, they don't have to worry. They don't have to bend down and scoop it up, which is what they should do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
I got that off my chest.
Yeah.
Play a record.
U2, Electrical Storm, they've done it again. I thought that is beautiful, that track.
I know you used to disrespect U2.
I just didn't like them for 10 years. And then All That You Can't Leave Behind came out, and I sort of thought, well, I could have been wrong. And that's brilliant. So,
Rick, earlier I mentioned Prince. And we asked the question, is Prince a genius or not? We've had a lot of response, mainly by email. Interesting, Rick. Some people think he is, and some people think he isn't.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, this debate will rage on. Can we have some adverts? Well, in the last half hour, Steve, they've heard Nirvana, they've heard Oasis. They've heard great. They've heard Dylan. We've got Cat Stevens. We've got Tom Waits. You know what I mean? Now
it's great music.
We're playing a lot of music and talking less in the last bit. Now some people, right, would say that's because we running on empty and we ran out of things to say at 20 past the first hour.
Yeah.
Right? I say it's 'cause we want to get in some great tracks.
Oh, well, that's my excuse as well.
What's next? Cat Stevens off Teeth of the Tillerman. I've got nothing, Stephen.
You're running. I know. Well, it's the noise. I think the noise was the lowest point.
Was it the noise?
The noise was really annoying.
Cat Stevens from Teeth of the Tillerman.
So many people, Rick, haven't even got a Cat Stevens record in their collection, and you hear tunes like that, you just think, do you know what I think of them?
You think why?
I think why, Rick?
We just had someone phoning up saying they want a bit of psychedelic furs, and Claire said, "Oh, what's your favourite track?" And we both went, "It'd be Pretty in Pink,"
of course.
And it was.
Yeah.
But you meant to say like on Heart or Magic, you're told to say coming up a classic by so and so, and people stay watching in case it's their favourite, and if it's not, you don't give that away. But it doesn't work when it's things like, I hear things all the time like after this a classic from Men at Work. That'd be Down Under.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Coming up next, a beautiful tune by Danny Wilson. Mary's Prayer. It's Mary's Prayer. It can only be Mary's Prayer.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work with those that they've had one hit.
Yeah. Or a tune from Hearsay. Oh, I hate them all.
Nice.
You know, because like rock and roll
come on,
and that, we hate
Steve.
them all.
Don't kick them when they're down.
Yeah, it's true enough. God, what other pop do we hate?
You know that thing,
No, we all hate pop music, don't we? That's why
Yeah.
we're an alternative station.
Agadoo's rubbish.
Oh, I hate it. Russ Abbott, Atmosphere. There's no atmosphere in here with that playing. Oh.
Last night's thing started, the Fame Academy, and I'm quite a sad telly watcher, and I've been looking forward to that for about 2 weeks. I fell for the hype. I can't believe it. I love Pop Idol. I love Pop Stars The Rival. I love Celebrity Fit Club. I love all those things, right? But just disappointing because they'd already picked them. I think it's investment, and I'll be honest. I think the standard was poor.
The standard was poor.
I think so.
And are these people with different abilities, or is it all singing?
It's all singing. It's rather like they've got us down to the last 12 of Pop Idol, say.
It's like that. You come in at that level.
But to be fair to the programme, I think it's all about what happens next, because now they get voted out like Big Brother.
Right.
And so
do they write their own material and stuff, or
they'll be taught to do that? They've got the whole team together and everything, so then they're filmed, like for 24 hours a day and everything. And so I think you've got to get into it and get to know these people. There's already a few. I go, right, she's annoying.
Yeah.
Right, vote her out. And they have to. There's 3 that the teachers say each week. Okay, you're up on probation, and then you vote them out, and it gets it down to one person. But the interesting thing is, it's not just they get a record and they release a single. They live the life for a year.
Right.
So they get this beautiful sort of pad in Notting Hill Gate. They get a sports car. Right. And it says they get to go to parties. They're already set up to go to the FA Cup final, the Brits and all those things.
Dinner parties with David Bowie.
Yeah, meet all these people, and then after a year, it's taken away from them.
Wow.
They just take everything back.
And you don't like this because you feel it cheapens like your celebrity lifestyle, which you've worked for.
No, but the other thing is, of course, they could be big stars by then, and they just have to get their own car. But how do they? What?
That psychologically is going to be grim.
But are we going to follow it up for that year? Are we going to? Is it like?
Well, that's when it becomes interesting. I mean, now camera crews following Hearsay. Now that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. And like what Jay did next,
yeah, exactly.
when they actually, But I don't know how they're going to do it.
How long, Jane? Jane, why do I call you Jane? There's so many. The name Jane has been mentioned so many times.
You can call me whatever you like, Steve.
Love. Well, how long do you reckon Ricky would last in the Big Brother house? If he was in Celebrity Big Brother, how long would Ricky stay in there?
Well, you see,
Well, it depends, you see. Go on,
that's
you
a tough
answer.
one. No, because as someone who would be watching Big Brother if Ricky was in there, I would make sure that he stayed in right till the end, just for comedy value.
Well, of course, because he's irritating. He's a sort of...
So I'm Chris Eubank.
You're the
then,
Chris
aren't I?
Eubank of the house. But obviously a lot of people tend to vote out the most irritating, annoying, most loathsome person.
Well, they
straight
want to
away.
get rid of me, but the public presumably
the
might
public
want me
would
in there
would love.
as a sort of irritant.
I think the public would turn against you as well. I know you, Rick.
Right, well, that's
it would
about
expose
it.
you for the charlatan you are.
Go on.
We haven't played a song for the ladies for some
on.
weeks because I
yeah.
just keep forgetting to bring one in.
I need one.
Thank you, Jane. I thought you know, I haven't played Tom Waits for a while, and this is, you know, one of his classics, and it's just beautiful, beautiful tune, and however many times you've heard it, it's still brilliant. Downtown Trainwreck.
Oh, I can't believe it.
We're back next week, and Karl hopefully is back with us.
Carl, I think will be, yeah. Well, we don't know, but
Let's hope everything's okay.
I'm sure it is, and we'll see him next week.
Thanks, Jake.
Bye, everybody. Strokes. Someday. I'm already annoyed. I've been here 3 minutes, and I'm already annoyed.
Yeah. I'll bring back Claire, I'll tell you.
No, it's not his fault. It's the whole place. The library's shite. I tried to get. Oh God! I had to go to Capital Library.
Chill.
Fancy that. I had to go to Capital Library to get a couple of records I wanted. Right? Place is falling apart. The email's not working. It's so shoddy. He's had 2 weeks off. I'm on holiday. I mean, they might as well bulldoze this, honestly, because for all the, you know.
It is ludicrous.
And we get paid peanuts.
You get paid, do you?
Oh, and it really annoys me to have to fight. Oh, anyway.
Anyway, just calm down.
104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, you're back.
All right.
How was it?
What, the holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't all fun, was it? Because my dad was in hospital.
Oh, but he wasn't
during the holiday.
Not during the holiday, though, was he? You came back from holiday and then found that out, didn't you?
Yeah, but it happened when I was on holiday.
Did you know that, though, when you're on holiday?
No, because I didn't take my phone with me.
Well,
the weird thing is, I got a feeling when I was sat there, because it normally happens.
It wasn't a nudie speech, was it?
When I first went away,
you saw that old fellow with his packet out.
When I went to Ibiza, right, I had a feeling, and I called home. My dad had punctured a lung.
When you say you had a feeling, what do you mean a feeling?
Just like, I should call home. There's something not right. But this time,
very specific feeling. How did that manifest itself? How did you get that? What kind of feeling? That tingling thing?
I'm getting a bit of a lung feeling.
Yeah.
A bit of a dad lung feeling.
That feels like a punctured lung.
Hold on.
Well, anyway.
But anyway, the holiday was good. We talked about it last week.
Well, let's probe Karl about his holiday, because, you know, that's the sort of thing that audiences will stay tuned for, Rick, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, sure.
Find out about
you know more about this radio business than me. You know, you hooked them already.
Indeed, yeah. Well, also, I'm thinking we've got nothing.
Now.
We may as well save that.
No, I resent it. I used to put a lot of work in, but no, I think of the money, which is, you know, for me, pretty shoddy.
Well,
you know what I mean? I don't usually get out of bed for
a lot of cash.
Well, exactly, yeah. And, you know, the whole thing is the whole setup. It was raining today. I thought I should have a cabin. You know, and then the sun came out, so I walked in again. Ah, dear.
How are you?
But I'll tell you what, I got a bit criticised last week as well that I only played ballads and same songs, so I'm going to rock out this week.
Oh,
I've been down to the Capital Library to get some good tunes. And what about a little bit of AC/DC?
Oh,
it took me all night long.
Let's hear it.
Well, that's cheered me up.
In a better mood now?
Yeah.
Good.
That's great. Should we rock out today?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Bit of Led Zeppelin, maybe Stones.
Brilliant, yeah. Some other classics.
Yeah. When are we going to talk about Karl?
Have we run out of stuff already?
Already.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, now, yeah.
So where did you go, Karl? What was the story?
It was my birthday, right? Went home after working with you a couple of Saturdays ago, right? Girlfriend was like, open your card. And I said, no, it's my birthday on Monday, I'll open it then.
You obey by the rules, certainly on birthdays. Birthday rules.
Well, there's no point.
Well, exactly. Chaos leads that way.
Yeah, right, so...
Not an anarchist, never has been.
So anyway, she was kept going on, it was doing me head in, so I said, all right, I'll open it.
Yeah.
So I opened it, ticket fell out. Surprise holiday to one of the Canary Islands. So...
And what was your reaction? I mean...
First one was, we haven't got enough money.
Right.
For this, but I didn't want to ruin it, so
no.
So I didn't go on about that, and I said, "Oh, it'd be great." So I can't wait.
So, did you say it in that tone of voice?
Well, it was good timing because I was tired and everything, and I'm not a big holiday fan, but the timing was right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as last night. I don't always like a curry, but last night
you're in the mood.
You get that sort of
curry. You had a feeling.
Yeah.
You thought, and then lo and behold, later you were eating the curry. It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird? The paranormal. Isn't it weird?
They work in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
So anyway, right? The island. If I was on with you were here, I'd probably say it's a bit barren.
Okay.
Not much there, but if you get a hotel, you guarantee good weather. Right.
Are you?
No, what I mean is, it'll be a good holiday. If you get a hotel, right, the weather's always good, so you'll have a nice time.
Yeah, that was a comma. Yeah, it was Go on.
And all that, and the food was all right, and everything was going all right. I was just having a nice, relaxing time.
And how do you sort of spend your time on a holiday? You just lie around? Is that
sort of holiday, just lying around. I bought a book.
You bought a book?
Yeah.
Okay, ghosts?
No, it was short stories, right?
About ghosts?
No, it was about like special days in our time. time before me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it was telling you about how I think it was 1814, the Thames frozen up.
Yeah.
And all these stories are told by eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some fella who was around in 1814, and the Thames was frozen, and people used to put market stalls on there, and they'd do the shopping. It was like like an Oxford Street.
Was that Mad Liar Charlie? No, because he's famous for that.
Well, I'm sure, you know.
No, I think that was Mad Liar Charlie. Yeah.
So I was reading that, and then after a couple of days was a bit like,
boring.
Yeah, you can only do sort of so much lying around.
And so much reading.
So Suzanne said, let's go on the beach, have a walk.
You ain't gone on the beach?
Where had you been up to this point then? In your room?
No, just like around the pool, just relaxing and having a swim and that.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go on the beach. I said, all right then, yeah. So wandered down to the beach, and first impressions are, yeah, it's all right, it's clean.
Your criteria is so basic, it's brilliant. Hotel, yes. Roof, good. Food, adequate. Beach, clean. Next.
So I'm walking along, and everything's good, and there's a woman feeding fish bread, which I thought that's different.
I love that. He likes originality. He loves a bit of originality.
He was feeding fish bread?
This woman was there, like, up to her knees in water.
Yeah.
And she was stood there.
Was that a sea?
Chucking,
Oh, right, good.
chucking this bread, and I thought, what's she doing? And I stood there and watched for a minute, and there was little fish coming up, having the bread. I thought, oh. So we carried on walking, and everything's going well, and then this fella comes towards me.
Everything's going well.
Yeah, that's
I haven't fallen over.
Clean feeding bread. 2 points for originality.
Fella comes walking towards me.
Oi.
He's only got no pants on.
Oh.
So I said, Suzanne, what's going on?
Why did he turn to her? Like she knows more than him.
So she said, oh, yeah, it's, she said, yeah, it's a nudity.
Is this going to be a long story? Could you pour that coffee? Can you give me that coffee over? Sorry, this is really bad. Yeah, because he's poured... Thank you.
Just amuse yourselves while we sort the coffee.
Thank you very much.
Dave, do you want
I'll have a cup of coffee, Karl. Thanks, yeah, cheers.
Cold. Right, good. Okay.
So...
Great. Thank you.
So she said, yeah, it's a nudist beach. So I said, well, why, what? I said, we're all it's all mixed up. Normally on a nudist beach, it's a nudist beach, and you don't go wandering on there when you get clothes on and that. So it annoyed me a bit, because there wasn't any signs. So this fella's getting closer.
Well, the knob out was a sign.
Yeah. Right, so he's getting closer, and he walked past me. It was an old fella, and he walked past, and he had a hat on and a little pipe, and a big rucksack on his back. Right, so he got me thinking.
Not strictly naked.
I'm walking along, and I'm thinking, right, why do people want to do this? So straight away, I wasn't on holiday anymore, because most of the time when I'm on holiday, I don't think about anything. Right?
Your mind's a blank.
I just switch off. Right? But all of a sudden, this has got in my head now, and I turn around to look at him, and...
Check out his arse.
And this bag, right, I swear, it was massive, right?
What? You had a massive bag?
The bag.
His rucksack?
His rucksack.
Oh, right, okay. When he said there was an old couple coming towards me, I said, what was lower, the bloke's bollocks or the woman's tits? And he said, well, that was another point. She might as well have worn knickers. Because that's what he said to me.
So you saw the bag?
So it annoyed me, yeah, because the whole idea in it, this is what I think, I mean, I might be wrong, right? Might be wrong.
Chances
you never have been. You never have been before.
Being nudist, right? What's it all about?
So I'll tell you, on that point, Karl, let's play a tune, let's come back and we'll discuss...
What are we going to play?
We'll discuss that very issue. We've got some ideas, we did chat about this last week, Karl, in your absence.
Alright, well, we'll play the choral.
Okay.
It's a good one, this.
Yeah.
Coral, Dreaming of You, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
If you just joined us, Karl is walking down the beach, and a man has just passed him with his knob out. Yeah,
his testicles out and his huge bag, apparently.
Right.
Now, we'll sum this up, quick, because we did talk about it last week. You did call me and tell me some of these things, and we sort of mentioned it last week, but you just want to say just give us your thoughts on nudity.
Well, what I don't understand is, right, nudity, I thought it was all about, sort of being free.
Yeah.
Natural, letting the breeze, blow around you and that. That's all I can think of like the bonus of doing it. But you can get that by just having a pair of shorts on, right? Because I'm not one for getting my kit off. It's just something a bit weird about it, isn't it? Normally, if I go for a walk on the beach, I'll put a shirt on.
Sure.
But leave it unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, tease the ladies, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit weird. So it's best to cover your back anyway, because the sun
Yeah.
and all
good
that.
advice, yeah.
But when I saw him, and I thought, well, right, is he doing it to sort of be free and be comfy and all that? And then I thought, but he's carrying a big bag, right? I've got a pair of shorts on, and I'm not looking at him thinking, I bet he's really comfy. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't going, I can't wait to get home and get my shorts off. They're really annoying me, these. So, and that's just it. I don't get what it's all about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, okay. Well, my advice to you is don't go to nudist beaches again.
Well, I didn't go again.
Do you play volleyball?
Nope.
Well, there's nothing in it for you, to be honest, Karl.
Do you ever walk around the house nude?
Not really. Only if, like, it's quickly to sort of jump out of bed and go and get a glass of orange. But I've got to be careful, because living on a high street, there's flats right across the way looking in.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
little
it's all right.
Chinese fella.
There's a little
Exactly.
And that was the other one. Is he the
There's
one?
the old woman reading a book.
Yeah, it could be dead for all we know. It hasn't moved.
There's some bouncers, and
Some bouncers.
I think so, yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
They're always... There's always...
Her name's Karl.
But, yeah, the only time, if I nip out, sort of get out of bed at night, go and get an orange, I've still got to be careful, because if they're awake and I open the fridge door...
Oh,
and the
you're
light
illuminated,
comes up,
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll sort of see the light,
And the shadow.
turn round...
And the weird, long, stretchy shadow. What did you get? You get up and got orange juice or orange swash?
You know, Robinsons.
You can't advertise on.
Why don't you take a glass of that to bed with? Why are you getting up?
Yeah.
Because whenever I do that, I normally don't wake up, and it's a waste, isn't it?
The man is a genius. And well, continuing our rocking out thing.
Yeah, we're in a rock mood.
Well, I think this sums up rock and roll, doesn't it?
It's not called rock and roll, is it?
Yeah.
Textbook.
Bit of Led Zepp, XFM. There's only one way to follow them. Adverts.
Oh! Rocking. Karl, what have you done?
Coldplay. The Scientist. Do you think that's about you, Karl? What happened there with all that rubbish, pressing the wrong thing going out and that?
Don't want to go... You've sorted it now. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You've come back. You're not focused, Karl. That's what concerns me. Your mind's on other things.
I'm all right now, though.
You all
Ready
right?
to go. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is... I just...
I'll tell you
can't
what,
believe it.
right? I'll tell you how focused I am.
What?
Got some new ideas for you.
Go on
Well,
then.
they've all been blinders in the past.
Go on.
Did you do any competitions when I was away?
Did we? I think we did, didn't we? Did we give away a DVD?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Right.
go on. Anyway.
Well, I've thought of some...
This isn't like radio, is it, as we know it? This is just people talking. If the mic's on, it's luck.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay,
No.
then you're going to change with that, Karl.
Because
You've
a
got
show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
And when we do present
dare I
it,
say it, some planning.
yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got some planning here.
Go on then.
Quizzes. What I did was, when I was on holiday...
Yeah.
Right, you said, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of
Thinking.
nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So...
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's
Well,
good advice for anyone out there.
I didn't...
yeah.
If you're interested in
See,
ideas.
Karl is presently running a course writing for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson one, isn't it? Just rip something else off.
Just do an idea and change the title slightly.
Yeah,
Well,
go on.
this one I haven't really got I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking... Strike It Ricky.
That's all you've got.
That's
what you've come up with. How long did that take?
Through.
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay, yeah, well,
Right.
no, good. No, we all have hits of this. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay, no, it's a good. Go on. Yeah.
Remember Big Brother?
Yeah. Do I remember? Well, no, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's heavy, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
Alright, forget that. Right, yeah, here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah. No.
The Price is Right, remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The Rice is Right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is a modern.
that one.
Let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. You read from what?
Well, I'll get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it'll be pilau, and anything you read out that is...
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
No, because then the name wouldn't work. The rice is right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you're working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah.
I'm so confused. I don't know where I am or what day it is.
A programme that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing the rice is right
I
either.
don't understand the rice is right.
No, go on.
I'll tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Or they wouldn't be binning it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase. Or something.
That's the one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
Alright,
Cross it out.
forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Right.
Go on.
This is the one that I've prepared for, because I think this
is
isn't
like
daft, this is good.
Let's play a tune and let's hear it after that. I'm very excited.
Are we going to play it after that, or are we going to save
No,
it till...
you can explain
No,
it
it's
after it. I'm very excited.
Good to hear that again. It's
Oh, fantastic.
Waiting on a Friend by the Rolling Stones. Yeah? Go on then, Karl. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Wilton. Go on.
Right, this one. Remember Blockbusters?
Uh-huh.
Right, this one is good, and we'll do this one. Rockbusters. And remember how Bob Holness used to give you a letter?
Yeah.
And it'd give you a question, and the answer to that question is that letter.
Yes.
Right, well, it works like that. So if I said to you, we'll test it out on you, Steve, right? Right, welcome to the show and that.
Hello.
Let's play, right? And I say, right, your first one is W.
Mm-hmm.
And the cryptic clue, because it's done like crosswords.
Okay. So not quite like Blockbusters.
Well, this young man prepared for his death. And it's a W, so the answer... And it's not always going to be like our sort of music, it can be any sort of music that's out there.
So the W is the name of
the answer.
I understand that, but is the answer always the band name, or is it...
Yeah.
It's always the band name, is it, or the artist?
Yeah.
And so would the W be the surname, or would you have both the initials if it was someone's name? Would Elvis Presley be EP?
Don't get annoyed,
no.
Karl. These are questions that I knew would be asked. I know this. You tested it on me, so you've got to tell them.
We
That's
need
the
to know
point.
the rules.
If it was Elvis, I'd probably do E.
No. Give him the answer. Give him the
Right,
answer.
did you hear the clue?
No, give me the clue again then. So the letter is
It is a
W.
cryptic clue, and
It's
the clue's
W.
fine.
Listen,
but,
and the
go on.
clue is, this young man prepared for his death.
This young man prepared for his death.
Yeah.
This young man prepared for his death.
And it's a W, and it's his first name.
That's what he needs
Well,
to
see,
know.
that's the...
Yeah, but I don't...
Well, shouldn't we have the initials? Wouldn't that make it easier? I mean,
Yeah,
wouldn't-
but it didn't do that on Blockbusters, it just had one letter.
No, they did.
They did if it was if...
The gold run they often had us for 3 or 4
Did they?
letters. Yeah.
But it was normally just one word. It wouldn't have been a name or something.
Alright then.
W...
W-Y. W-Y.
Will Young.
Excellent.
I
Right,
didn't
so
understand it. What was
this
the
young
Will
man,
prepared for this young man. So he's sort of mixed, sort of cryptic.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that was a good effort. That's better than
Yeah.
usual.
No, it's
that is better than
It's not
usual.
bad, is it?
So do you want to play? Let's play Rockbusters.
Yeah, Rockbusters.
How many of these have you got? No, because
No,
let's just clarify a couple of rules here, Carl. Let's just make sure we thought everything through, because I'm pretty certain when they get these things on TV, they at least have a go at them in the office first before they put them straight on there. I'm sure that's how it works. I'm sure Bob Holness just didn't turn up the first day, and he goes, "Don't worry, we'll wing it. It'll be fine. Bring the students in. Let's have a go." I'm sure they did a bit of preparation. So let's just check. We've got every base covered.
Yeah,
Firstly, how many questions have they got?
I'll
to
tell
get
you
right?
what. Let's do this off air then. Should we play a great tune?
Well, yeah. Well, people need to call in, don't they? Because we're doing it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It'll be alright. And there's good stuff. I've got CDs, right? I've got some compilation stuff and a couple of videos and that, so that's what they're playing for. Call up now, 08700 800 1234. Get them on the air, we'll play the game. Brilliant. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Bit of The Cure. Right. Oh.
That's from that Cure Greatest Hits
I'm gonna have a
compilation.
heart attack. I
You
really
get
am.
an extra
It's-
bonus CD on certain copies, and that's an acoustic version of Just Like Heaven. Fantastic.
He hasn't thought it through.
I know, we've just
Right,
spent
we've-
3.5 minutes trying to figure out the rules of
Yeah,
this game.
right, we've got it now. I'm sorry for people who are calling. The lines are going mental. Right, so hold on, everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to do an ad break.
We're just going to figure out how to play the game.
No, we're going
during
to get
the
two
ads.
people on there and we're going to play it. So, XFM and that. What's going on?
I don't know. The adverts aren't working today, and I'll have to get an engineer in as well. so
Right,
that's
don't
messy.
play the adverts. I don't want to play them anyway. Don't play them. It's not our fault if it doesn't work. It's...
Why?
Do you realise if we were like live, we'd be heckled off the stage?
Right, don't play the adverts.
We wouldn't survive in the real
I'll
world.
sort that out.
Right, get the people on the air now. Just
No,
oh.
Rick, calm
Play a
down.
record then. Do something for Christ's sake. Brilliant, Pulp. Good news and bad news. Bad news is we have got enough callers to play Karl's game. The good news is we don't have to play any more adverts.
Yeah.
In this show. So if it doesn't work, sod it. Right, who have you got on the line, Karl?
Sam,
Now let's just remind ourselves, what's the game?
it's Rockbusters.
Okay, now calm down, Karl. I know you're a bit stressed, you've got a lot to do, but don't worry, you've just had a holiday.
Throw this desk out. Let's throw it out and start again.
Rick, don't get stressed.
Go on then.
People wouldn't think it was us if this show wasn't, half-baked and ill-formed and generally shoddy. That's what they've grown to love.
Okay. All right.
Sam,
Hello?
is it sounding all right today?
It is, just about.
Right. Cheers.
Sounded worse.
Right. Then.
Yeah.
Well,
And so we've got Sam on the line. Who else have we got there?
so we've got Tim as well, haven't we?
Hi there.
All right, Tim.
Tim and Sam.
Right,
You sound quite similar, lads. Could one of you affect an accent or something? Which one's Tim?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, which one's Sam?
This is Sam.
That's slightly deeper,
Bit
slightly
deeper,
deeper.
yeah.
Sam,
And they're not against the clock anyway, are they? So it doesn't really matter.
I suppose not.
So
I think Steve just wanted a bit of variety. Okay.
you understand the rule, lads?
Can you explain them to us?
Right, play it. Okay.
Hang on, wait.
Well, let me explain, because life is too short. Now, Karl's going to read out, say 3 clues, yeah, and just shout your own name and answer it, or shout the answer. Shout your own name, then the answer if you know it. And it's the person who gets the most right.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So,
Here we go then.
okay then.
So
Shouldn't it be the first to 3?
Well, yeah, but then he hasn't got. Yeah,
I've got enough. It's fine.
He's got enough clues for that.
Right then, here we go. Welcome to the show.
oh God.
Right. First initials ST. Right. Is that right? ST.
Well, I don't know. Oh, we don't know, do we? How do we know?
Here we go. ST, and the cryptic clue is better than the average homeless person. Okay?
Sorry, I think, is that a band?
Yeah.
Is it an old band?
Yeah.
I think that's one word.
Alright then, S. It's an old 70s band. Better than the average homeless
Tim.
person. Tim?
Go on.
Supertramp.
Yes.
Supertramp
Well done.
it is.
Yeah.
Well done, 1 point to
I have
you,
no idea
Tim.
why that's right, by the way.
You don't understand why it's right?
He's a super tramp.
Oh, right.
Better than the
okay.
average homeless
cryptic,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, cryptic.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. Come on, Sam, you got
That's actually quite good for Karl. Trust me, Tim. Take that as a good clue. Because, yeah, okay.
We won't do this again.
Wait, 1-0
Right,
to
here we
Tim.
go.
Right.
F. The letter is F. That's the next one we're moving on to. And the cryptic clue is, the little girl is hungry. What shall we do?
The S or F?
I've got it.
F.
Ready? Sam. Peter.
Yes, 1-1. Feed her.
He's pulled out of
Feed her.
Yeah. Feed her. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 1 each. So this is the decider, isn't it?
Wait a minute, ITV are on the phone.
Well, you said first to 3, so no, it's not, is it? That's what I said. Just do the 3 clues and who gets the most.
Okay, well, we can do that now. So, here we go.
I love this. This is rubbish. Go on.
So, here's the last one. The initials are AK, right? And the cryptic clue is exploding pet. Shout out your name if you know it.
Last orders at the bar, please. Last orders at the bar.
Exploding Pet. AK.
You're tuned to XFM 104.9, Karl Pilkington's quiz, Rockbusters. The format is still available. The highest bidder, please give us a call, or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Is it a band or a singer?
I'll give you a bit more of a clue. It's a pop band. Okay, we wouldn't...
No, Tommy Kissem.
Yes!
Hey.
Oh, this is amazing radio. So who was that won?
That was Sam who won.
So it's 2-1 to Sam, so he wins... What does he win, Karl?
He wins some CDs and some videos.
No, he's got obviously now, Sam, if you're ready, take the spot, you're going to do the gold run. Away you go, Karl.
I haven't got any more.
You're a fool. Right, stay on the line, we're giving both some presents. Play a record for...
Rick, I'm going to shoot off.
Not come! Feeder, come back around. He's getting all stressed again.
You know, we've only done an hour.
I know, I'll tell you what, this
You know,
seems
there's
like
another
3.
hour to go.
I know, I don't know what it seems like to the listeners.
I'll tell you this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Karl, but I think maybe someone else should come in and press the buttons. Because I'm not sure you're across it. I don't think you can concentrate on talking and working at the same time. I'm not sure you can...
Walking
Yeah,
and
for
eating.
you it seems it's a
Oh
bit
no,
like...
don't say that. Look, he's gutted. No, there's a lot of gone wrong here. I say throw this desk out and get a real one. Seriously.
Well, I think there's a Fisher Price when you can buy in Argos that might be worth
but
getting.
we got there. We were stunned because it was second hand, this one. But this is like the Mir space station. I mean, it really is falling apart. Get a new one in. Let's not, I can't believe it. Look at that. Look at the library. Look at the gaps in the library.
Let's not go on about this, because this isn't good.
What? Whereas that quiz was. Whereas that was good radio.
You can join in and stuff.
But the problem is, Karl, why do you rush to do it? I told you before we should practice these things. That's
Although,
how
to
it's
be
done.
fair, Steve, I haven't got time to do anything, so at least Karl's coming up with stuff.
But I don't mind, running
What other
through with
ideas
it
have you
while
got?
you're having a kip outside.
Really?
doing
What
the
other ideas have you
records.
got? Have you got any other ideas, Karl? Because you've got another hour, but have you got anything at all?
I've got that feature Educating Ricky, which is a bit of a play on words as well. Right? Do you know the film, Steve?
Educating Rita.
Yeah.
I see what you've done. Go
I'm
on.
doing that, and I teach Ricky stuff.
What do you teach me, Karl?
Well, I've got a few different topics.
Go on.
Do you know, like how you taught me about Hitler and Che Guevara and Winston Churchill? Mm-hmm. I'm going to come in with topics every week, and this week I've got
Ghosts?
No, hanging bacon is one of the topics.
Say that again.
Hanging bacon.
Hanging bacon.
All the titles.
Francis Bacon.
No, all the titles are sort of named to sort of tease you and get you more interested in it.
Hanging bacon. Well, you've certainly intrigued.
Go on, what's another title one?
Hairy Chinese kid.
I'm going to go for that one.
If there was a university degree with that title.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go for Hairy Chinese Kid,
And
I
the
think.
final one,
Yeah.
Alien gives man a beard.
Right.
Alien gives man a beard.
I am going to burst. Right, listen, Karl, you've got to tell me. Right, first, let's do it in
No,
reverse order.
we're not going to do it now anyway.
What do you mean? We've got to do it now. I mean, this is the first interesting thing you've said in an hour. Okay, the listeners have just been subjected to rubbish and mistakes and everything for the last 6 months. Please, we've got to do Alien Gives Man a Beard. What is that? Tell us that.
Right.
Sorry, this is just you telling me something, is it? This feature is you telling me something.
I'm teaching you something. Educating Ricky.
So are we playing it now? We're already into this feature. Well into this feature, are we?
Yeah, I suppose we are, yeah.
Should there not be a jingle or something?
Yeah, can we have a
Well, there's no
jingle?
point, because look, I come up with ideas and you dismiss them straight away, so I'm not wasting my time making stuff.
Right.
If you don't like
well, okay, let's play Educating Ricky.
Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right.
So-
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Educating Ricky.
Right, what are we going for then? Hanging the bacon, Hairy Chinese kid, Alien gives man a beard.
I think Alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And
Karl, if you're bored.
he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there,
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light, and it came closer and closer, and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it, and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car,
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He hasn't.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car and he was still standing out there?
Right?
What?
And it turned out,
Yeah.
he got home, and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car, I grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days.
Yeah.
But he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is he took him and he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again, just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right? A man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's grown a beard.
The length of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he was lying?
Drunk?
What if he was lying?
He got knocked unconscious. He'd had a car crash.
Just lying. No, just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3 days.
And that was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you going to tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He's not going to believe I was out with you, lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have. That's
exactly
right. Okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right?
Well, no, what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this what I'm educating you about.
Go on.
Right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're going to get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that... Do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right. Do you know, like, how here...
Do you know
I
what...
have no idea.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know, like, over here...
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that.
No way, it's great. No,
I want to hear about Airy Chinese Kid.
Let's play a tune.
Okay, play a tune. Come back with Airy Chinese Kid, definitely.
Some doors.
Yeah, I just thought I'd go back, take it back to the 60s. This is a tune that a friend of mine sent
If
me.
you touch a UFO, you get done.
Soul Kitchen from the Doors.
Shambles today, this.
David Bowie, Slow Burn. Yeah, quite a Eno trilogy feel about it. Logic and sort of low type. Yeah, but yeah,
enjoyable.
Now, okay. That's stressful, isn't it? I think we've got things working now. We've had people coming in and out, just shaking their head, going, "Shouldn't have bought that desk." But it's all sorted now, I think. And
you notice how it took about 25 minutes for them to come down as well, though? Do you feel like we're maybe quite low in the pecking order in the building?
Definitely.
You know, it's like Capital First, Capital Gold. They can shoot off to other sort of pirate stations, people's car radios, then they come back here.
Oh dear. Oh, I had a job at Richard Sounds. Light fitting was buzzing. Now, but we've got. Thanks for staying, listening. Right, okay. Educating Ricky. What have we got? Airy Chinese Kid. Go on.
Right, yeah. This is the. I didn't want to do this.
What do you want to do it?
Well, I wanted to give you 3, and I gave you one. It was like the alien man gets a beard or whatever.
Yeah, which was total rubbish. So this one should be better, maybe.
Hairy Chinese Kid. Right. Well, we've talked about airy people in the past.
True enough.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, the little kids who grew up in woods and hung around with wolves and that.
Yeah. Again, you're confusing it. Yeah, they're not. There were some people that were born. Very hirsute. They were not the people who were brought up with wolves. You just put that together in your Homer Simpson type mind.
Right. Well, this is like a sort of close to that sort of story.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, right? Chinese people aren't that hairy as a nation. No, seriously, that's a well-known fact. They don't have that much body hair and stuff.
Okay.
So this little kid who was born over there. He was like covered in stuff.
Was he?
And it was only his nose that wasn't hairy. The rest of his body was caked in hair, right? And his hair sort of.
What sort of hair was it? Was
thick, thick hair.
No, what I mean is, was it sort of like a pony's mane? So he just looked like an Ewok. You know what I mean? Just like hanging down, sort of straight, dark hair.
In the picture, it looked like
Or
It grows
was it
from his
downy?
eyebrow. It grows from his eyebrows quite thick, and then it just goes all the way over
You
his
don't
head.
think it was just really long eyebrows that he'd done a comb over?
No, it was all over his body. It had a picture of like his back and that.
Yeah.
And
Had he styled it? Had he styled it at all? Did he have it in a quiff or?
no, it was just
hanging everywhere.
all over him.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is a bit weird happening in China, where we're not normally that airy.
That was the scientist speaking there.
Yeah.
And the local press and that were getting him down, calling him monkey boy and all this.
Oh,
And
thinking Chinese press.
but the doctor,
Yeah. Oh.
They're cruel, aren't they?
The
It's like those
doctor-
game shows. That's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
and the doctor said,
I was Carl talking through all that time while we were just like talking to each other then. Because I turned round and I still saw he was talking. Go
So
on.
anyway, the local press came in to see the hairy boy, the monkey
yeah,
boy.
and they were like being tight, taking the mickey out of him. And the doctor said,
Throwing him nuts.
he's only airy. Said he's a healthy young kid. The only faults he's got is he's got a little bit of eczema and a boil. And he said everybody should just treat him the same, and I think he grew up a healthy kid. Yeah, so that's the
That's
the end of the story.
That's not a story.
why.
But I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to that. So someone in China was born slightly hairier than the rest, and he was normal apart from eczema and a boil. That to me isn't a story. But if it is, I've got a million. I mean, it's sort of like bloke from Manchester went a bit bolder than the rest, got a job on radio. He was normal. I mean, that's not a story, is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right then.
Hang on.
Oh God, he's got the big guns. You're not going to give us hanging bacon, are you?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right.
Come
That's what
on.
we've been looking
Come
forward
on.
to. This is it.
No, this is a good one.
This is the one.
And this is a story, right? Do you know the saying, chewing the fat?
Good one. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Talking.
Right. Well, do you know where it came from?
No.
Right, what they used to do years ago, when people didn't have much money.
Is this the same as throwing the baby out of the bathwater?
No, it's not the same saying, but...
No, but I mean, is it as wrong as that was?
Well, let me tell you, and we'll
Go
see.
on. Okay.
Like, people go out to work, and with the money, they'd buy food.
Oh yeah, go on. This is a good system. What? Go on. What do you mean? People go out to work and with the system.
And
Well, go on.
if you were quite well off, you might treat your family to some bacon, right? But do you know, like in these days, if people earn a lot of money, they might buy a nice suit or a car.
Yeah. So what are you saying? You're saying wait. Let me get this straight. You're saying that you go out to work and get money to buy things to live, and if you get sort of enough money to live and you've got some left over, you might treat yourself on like a suit or a car or something. Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Oh,
but back then, if
Yeah.
you earned money, they'd say,
This is olden times.
yeah,
Okay.
let's get some bacon in, right? And what they'd do, they'd hang it in the kitchen
Or to show it off.
to show it off to all the neighbours and friends. Because if you had hanging bacon, it was like, he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah.
Some lovely bacon.
So they had loads of bacon hanging up, and people would come round, right? And whilst they stood in the kitchen talking about whatever they're talking about,
in olden times.
they'd say, do you want a bit of rind? And they'd rip a little bit of rind off, and whilst they're having a chit-chat,
Chewing the
they'd
fat.
chew on the rind.
Well, I think that's probably true. I
it's
haven't
like-
heard that, but that one to me sounds true. Do you see the difference between that one and a man was abducted and grew a beard? Can you see the difference in
Yeah, but
why I
different-
accept that
different-
story?
Different stories for different things.
Different stories for different things. So, see, that's a nice story. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. I mean, but it seems totally possible, viable, quite interesting. I won't be quoting that myself until I've verified it. But that's, I won't be telling anyone the bloke got in the car and he had a full-face beard. Why has his car been towed away?
Because it was a quiet road.
Was it?
wasn't in the way. So,
Are you filling in the blanks again? That wasn't in the book, was it, that you read? See, that's the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
well, that's all you can do, innit? So that's educating Ricky. Will we
Brilliant.
do that next week?
That is brilliant.
No, I think
Carl.
that was good. I did. I mean, I enjoyed that. I learned something from that.
I mean, I want to get. I mean, this is all from one book, is it?
Yeah.
That's an interesting book.
With the, I don't want to dwell on it, but with the hairy Chinese kid, what did they say about that? What was the, I mean, was it once there was born a kid who was slightly more hairy than everyone else? But yeah, it's all right. He only had a boil. Oh, how did they word it? How did this capture your imagination?
There was a
Well,
picture.
it was a picture that grabbed me, first of all.
Sure.
And it was like, God, what's up with him? And that's when I read it.
Did you see the boil in the eczema or just the hair?
No, you see, because his face is like, just under his eyes is sort of nice and smooth, and his nose is sticking out, and that's not hairy. But the rest of him, it looked like he had the sort of a balaclava on or something. And then I read on, and it's like, this was a hairy kid in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Anything else in there? Because, I mean, I like that.
We'll do more of that next week.
How is that alongside hanging bacon, alien abduction, a hairy Chinese kid, and a little interesting fact about the derivation of a phrase?
What do you mean?
He didn't understand a word of that. I knew the word derivation was going to cause problems. I thought derivation shouldn't have come out.
I wasn't disputing. He's all smug because he's had a phone call. That was Beck, lost cause. Go on, tell him why you're all smug.
Because Adrian just called up.
Yeah.
After hearing the story about the Chinese kid.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, that's true. He said that there was a TV programme on it.
Yeah.
He had a chromosome defect.
Yeah.
And it made him hairy. And his mum and dad used to have to shave him. That wasn't in the book. But thinking about it, that's not a good move anyway, is it? Because they say that for women, if you get a few hairs on your top lip, don't shave it because it'll grow back thicker and faster. So
they should just let him.
They should have just said, well, let's see how bad it gets. But if they went in there straight away if he came out as a baby and a little bit hairy, they should have left it for a little bit. But Adrian called up and said, yeah, he was hairy, he was all
but
right.
we weren't disputing there was a Chinese kid born slightly hairier than the rest.
We were disputing the fact that you didn't actually tell us a story. You just told us a
And what we are disputing is that man was abducted by aliens for 3 days and grew a beard. Yeah. That's definitely not true.
No.
We don't know about chewing the fat, but it sounds quite viable.
Yeah.
You see, the difference is between me and Steve and you is that what we believe isn't random. Do you know what I mean? It's not random. The things
we don't believe stuff just because it's interesting.
It's not every other thing we believe and every other thing we don't.
I think Karl believes stuff if it's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If he thinks, intriguing. Fact.
He said to me on the before he got a minute, he said, that Ollie's record, he ain't ever, he's my brother, what's that about then? And I went, I don't know, I heard, it was about someone who had a disabled brother, and it was lifting him in and out of a car or something, and someone said, oh, do you want a hand? And he went, no, he's not heavy, he's my brother. I.e., this isn't a burden for me.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Karl, what did you say?
I'd say...
No, I'll tell you what he said. He went, that's ridiculous, he was still heavy. And he said, don't turn down help.
Which, we were talking about that because a new feature we're starting about this time every week.
Oh, yeah.
We start about this time every week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do... that song's got a good story.
Okay.
Yeah, love it, snappy. Go on.
There's loads of songs out there, isn't there, with songs that you couldn't fade out. When you hear them on the radio and that, you don't want anyone to talk over the start or the end.
Yeah.
Because
but when we did this one before with Killing a Georgie by Rod Stewart.
Yep.
And I was a bit worried that it might have been a true story because we were, joking about it. And he went, oh, that Killing a Georgie? He went, I think it is a true story. I went, why? He went, I listened to it again, and Rod Stewart at the beginning says, this is one of my best friends. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's genius.
So there's loads of songs out there, and what I want to do, we want to get the audience involved in this. So if you've got like a favourite song that's got a really good
If you've
story,
got an audience. Yeah, go on.
And they email in ricky.gervais@xfn.co.uk and they say what the song is now.
What would examples be then?
Examples, ones that jump to mind straight away for me. Elvis, In the Ghetto.
Yeah, good one.
Brilliant.
Andrew Gold, Lonely Boy.
Absolutely.
Don't know that one.
Eminem, Stan.
Right, yeah. Good one. You couldn't fade it out, could you? Because you go, well, what happened?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Not just any sort of pop song that keeps repeating itself. And, it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it skips or, you know what I mean, if you turn the radio off.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Ernie,
songs.
the fastest milk in the world.
Yeah, that is a good story. That is a good story. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a story, yeah.
Ted from Teddington, he drove the baker's van.
Well,
So what have we got then? Have we got one?
so we're going to kick it off today with Stevie Wonder, Living Just Enough for the City.
Okay.
And just briefly,
Sum it up. Right,
Yeah.
if you are nipping out, maybe you're in the car and you're about to pull up somewhere and get out. What it's all about is a lad who's growing up in like America in some rough area, right? And he's trying his best to do well and get a job and everything, but because of where he's from, he's stopping him doing that. Right? It's like how I grew up on an estate in Manchester. I had to leave there and come to London to do all right for myself.
Yeah.
Right? And it's his whole family, and it's a tale of like how his man works dead hard and works loads of hours, but the kids are always well dressed and cleaned. It doesn't mean just because you haven't got a good job, you let your house run down. Do you know what I mean? She's looking after it. The sister, you know, she hasn't got new clothes, but they're always clean, and her knees are clean, I think it says in one point.
Excellent. Clean knees, always important.
So will we give it a listen? Let everyone
Brilliant.
hear
It's
it?
a
Well, I
great
don't
track.
think Stevie can do it justice. After that explanation.
Right, so
I'm not sure he's
I
going to
think
top
it's
that.
like some sort of like backing tune to try and...
Try and pep it up a bit. 'Cause
Yeah.
You have really knocked it the socks off it.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to
right,
the clean
here we go
knees.
then. It's a new feature.
What is it called again?
The story in that song's really good. Here's Stevie Wonder.
Go on then, Carl. Back announce that. It's your choice, that.
Right, songs with good stories that you can't fade out.
Yeah. Although you can heavily edit them for
Yeah, I
them.
noticed you didn't play the full version, which has
No, it's
obviously
radio.
got the complete story in. You've just played a
I haven't heard the other. That's
single
all I
version.
know.
Well, in the album version,
He gets
goes to jail.
abducted. He gets abducted as well, and he comes back with a big beard.
Yeah, and he's
No.
covered in hair. No,
No.
he gets arrested and goes to jail. But it's just because he gets picked up because he's black and he hasn't done anything wrong. There's a whole other
that
sort
one.
of section.
Maybe we should change this section.
No, what we'll do, right?
Abridged versions of songs.
Yeah.
No, next week we'll play the second bit, and it'll be like Star Wars or something like that. Brilliant.
Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. Well, it's been a good show, hasn't it? There's been sort of like quite a rock and roll 70s feel to it, mainly the equipment. But we got through it. Karl's been telling us some great insights into his mind, really. We've had a few laughs, a few tears. A bit stressful. What were you telling me in the week about when you went to visit your dad in hospital?
Oh, we're talking about me when I got back off holiday, my dad was in hospital. I shot back to see him, see how he's getting on, and hospitals are depressing places, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, like, God, you know, even if you're not that ill, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because it's really like drags you down. There's people walking around moaning, and, you know.
You mainly.
Yeah. Nurses.
And my dad was
political.
like,
Yeah.
Is
High five.
Satire.
Do you know what I mean?
I would like to be
Because
the
they don't get
NHS.
paid enough and all that, and they do,
Oh.
like...
No, well, that's
Tony
what I mean.
Blair, are you listening?
I don't want to look like I'm moaning about the people working because they all work really hard.
Yeah, of course they do, yeah.
But it's just
God bless
they are depressing places.
High five.
This one,
Go
this
on.
one.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sat there, and my dad's getting fed up, and
Is that because you're visiting?
just he's quite an active bloke, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's got to stay in bed, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like sit down, stop moving about, and all this. So he's sat there, and there's an old woman in the bed next door, right, and she's in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. She must have been. I'd say she looked about 98, something like that.
Okay, good.
Right. Now I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was always constantly moaning, and you could see that the nurses were trying their best to keep her happy, and she wasn't having any of it. And you know, she was moaning because her hands had gone blue.
Well, that is a worry, to be honest.
Well, it's not, because she's 98.
Is that what happens?
But why doesn't the doctor? If I was a doctor, and I'm not one. But
No, Carl, don't be modest. Are you a doctor? Yes or no?
But if I was
think he's
there-
let it slip. Carl, are you a doctor?
no, listen.
Look me in the eye.
Right. Yeah,
So this woman had blue hands. Had she seen a spacecraft?
right. So
Go on.
she had blue hands. Now she's 98. If I was a doctor, I'd be
No, she's not 98. You said earlier on she looked about 98. So you're making that up.
It's just shifted from
98.
speculation to fact.
Absolute fact now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, she's 98.
It is fact now.
There's a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be thinking,
You're not, are you? You honestly...
How did I calm them? How did I get away with this?
I'd be thinking,
Right.
she's 98. She hasn't got long left. Why not just let her be at home and be happy in her own space?
Yeah.
You know, and let her have a nice life, whatever's left.
Because she may hurt herself. She may have falls. Some people have to go in there for their own protection. She might not have immediate
More than
family.
that, she may not have been dragged in against her will.
No,
she may have come to hospital because she was worried about her blue hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking to Ricky, he said, "Oh, what it would have been is probably a bit of." Did you say it's rheumatism or something?
No, I said a blueness can be through lack of circulation.
Right. So just.
And I'm definitely not a doctor.
You've got blue hands, bad circulation. We're going to send you home. We'll give you a Rubik's cube. Play around with that with your hands. Get the blood.
Rubik's cube.
Sure. Get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
And don't worry. I don't say, oh, it's really bad. Just think she's 98. Let her have a nice rest of the life.
Yeah.
But instead, she was there, and the annoying thing was, and they do this with a lot of people in hospital, they pump you with drugs, try to sort it out. They don't, there's probably a bit of guesswork going on. Maybe a little bit.
Not as much as you, but go on.
Right, and because of that, they sort of break wind a lot. So I'm sat there with my dad talking. Drugs do that, Steve. I'm sure if there's a doctor listening or a nurse, they will clarify that if they pump you with all sorts of stuff, it wants to come out.
Right.
So you're sat there having a serious chat. It's a quiet hospital. The woman next door with the blue hands suddenly starts seeping gas, right? Well, I start laughing. Because if there's one thing that makes you laugh, it's that.
It's a 98-year-old woman with blue hands farting.
So you try to hold it in because it's a really quiet hospital, and it'd be obvious that that I was laughing at, and I didn't want to be mean, but it was funny. And then it got me talking about my auntie, because my auntie Nora, she same thing, pumped her with loads of drugs. She used to have a cabinet next to the bed is like boots. She's got loads of stuff, right, for all sorts of stuff. And I mean, she's not that old, but she's on loads of stuff, right?
She's a bit coked up, is she?
She called up my mum once. And,
yeah, you told us this. Go on, tell it again.
And she said, "Oh, how are you doing?" And that. It's all right. Bit worried though. My mum said, "Why? What's up?" She said, "I've been breaking wind." So she goes, "Well, She says, "No, but this one is going on and on and on." And she was like, she was like, what do you say? What's like passing wind, farting for 5 minutes. one thing, not like, trumping and then nothing.
Yeah.
Continuous
drone of a fart.
Yeah.
I don't think she had. How big was she? She must be the size of a barn.
No, she's not that big. She's, she's good for her age.
No, but I mean,
quite slim.
No, but fighting for 5 minutes. Where's all the gas? Was she circular breathing? Was she sucking it in with her mouth?
It was just, I don't know that much about it. But she called up my mum. About 2.5 minutes in.
Could you hear it in the background?
2.5 minutes in!
2.5 minutes in, she called my mum up, and it went on for a further 2.5 minutes.
Oh. And she just stayed on the phone, did she?
Where was...
can you hear that?
Well...
Did she hold the phone next to her arse? Listen to that.
She was off the ground.
Trying to work a tune down.
she was actually hovering. She was 4 foot off the ground when they found her, the ambulance men.
The cat's dead.
Don't light a match! Don't light that cigarette!
Yeah, it's like that advert. The kids come home from school, switch on the light.
Yeah. Then they see Granny hovering, turn the light on.
Be careful if you have an elderly woman at home.
Yeah. Drugs make you fart.
So that's what I'm saying, just let these people...
What are you saying? No, wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying let people enjoy the life they've got left.
No, you're not. You're saying don't put them in hospital, leave them at home to die.
No, I'm not.
Give them a Rubik's Cube and let them die. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now, right? Steve, I'll tell you something. I didn't want to do it because it brings the show down, but she did die.
Who, the blue-handed lady?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I said to my dad, how's the woman next door? She said, oh, she went last night. They've got an old fella in there now.
God.
So, there you go. So, wouldn't it have been better to leave her at home where her friends and family can call and speak to her, even nip-dap round if they want, with a cat, I imagine.
No, it's definitely a cat now. What was that cat's called that you imagine?
Probably, I'm seeing like a big ginger one, so I don't know, something like, I don't know, maybe ginger or whatever. Maybe I had a budgie. But that's what I'm saying, just let him enjoy his life, because dying in hospital, I wouldn't like to do it. If I went to the doctors and they said, you haven't got long life left, I'd say, well, I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
right? If you can't do anything for them, let them enjoy their life.
Yeah, a Rubik's Cube.
Right. Well, good. Backfired. Now, let's play the second of the Rolling Stones track. I'm going to try and do this every week. It's a feature called Too Lazy to Go and Get Another Album. What about a classic, a bit of rock and roll? Yeah?
I'd love to hear
Brown Sugar. Do you know what this is about, Carl? Maybe, I'll tell you later. Well, Stones, Brown Sugar. Steve thinks I can't tell you what this is about because it's too rude for radio. But you've done it again, haven't you? You've had another call, haven't you?
Yeah, just that drugs do make you have wind, morphine especially. That's the bad one to have.
And that was from a medical student, wasn't it?
Yeah. Up in Leeds, so cheers for that.
Haven't had any calls about the alien abduction, funnily enough.
No clarification on that so far.
No.
Keep you posted, though.
Yeah. If anything happens, we will let you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We got through it with all these mistakes. They've got to get this equipment fixed and they've got to go to HMV Monday and buy about, I'd say, £5,000 to £10,000 worth of new albums. That's definitely.
It's gonna be good
Get
next
this
week.
fixed. No, get this fixed. Definitely.
Yeah. Don't go on about that. Next week, though, we'll have more educating
That's the
Ricky.
phone. Look, that's the phone.
Yeah, don't do that.
What?
Educating Ricky. We'll do the quiz. Rock Busters. Do that again.
Right,
Yeah.
I might not be
Songs.
here. If that's the case.
And Steve,
What?
what have you got?
What, next week?
No.
I'm just going to bring some sandwiches. Do you notice I was quite quiet for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Just dozed off.
Yeah, well, the air conditioning's...
I'm feeling quite muggy.
It's too, but that doesn't work either. And this is I'm totally serious. I'm not joking. It's ridiculous. So,
Right, a song for the ladies to end with as ever. Sly and the Family Stone. It's always a favourite. If you want me to stay.
yeah.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Sweet.
Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant,
Hello there.
Karl Pilkington and everything. No, I'm going to be honest with you. A
Go on.
little bit hungover,
Yeah.
don't feel very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm hungover or still a bit drunk, but I don't feel...
You sound like you're still a bit drunk.
Yeah, so
But
what I'm
then
worried
you do
about...
every week, so...
But what I'm worried about is that the standard will slip. Yeah,
Sure.
if I'm not right on the ball. And the other thing is, I haven't had a lot of time to prepare the show today,
Okay.
so I don't feel,
100%.
yeah, I haven't done the Carl.
Right.
Look,
Have you finished that sentence?
I don't make me laugh because it hurts as well. And there's the other side effect to me being a little bit hungover or drunk or whatever, right, is that I can be annoying.
Right, yes.
Because just to amuse myself, I sort of like turn my body off a little bit and just poke and like that and annoy people and that. I want to sort of like.
Well, you do
climb-
the physical equivalent of freewheeling.
yeah,
don't
yeah.
you? You just
I sort of want to climb on Karl and go to sleep on him.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They both annoy him and it'd be comfortable.
Yes.
Which is, can be annoying.
Just a little thing just to make this show a bit easier. If you'd put your hand up when you want one of us to speak, because I'm not quite sure when the sentences are finished.
The hands are up.
Okay, good. So,
The hands are up.
okay.
Okay.
Good, alright.
Okay.
Are you gonna just keep them up the rest of the show, or?
No, Karl, do what you... Huh?
Good, alright. Do you want to, is there an excuse as to why you're a bit hungover?
Too much wine.
Okay. All right.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thanks for
Okay.
that. Because this is the only work you've got to do all week, isn't it? It's like, unless I'm very much mistaken, you don't have to do anything. You just sit at home eating cheese.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you do a bit of sort of shadow boxing, and that's exercise. And then you sit out and watch TV.
Yeah.
Is that roughly what you did this week?
Yeah.
So this is the only 2 hours you had to do anything for all week. This is to prepare for
Yeah,
this.
but who can plan a hangover?
Right.
You'd think that. Karl, you said you had some stuff.
Yeah.
What have you got?
Can't wait.
I love the fact that, whereas I was a little bit slow, Karl there leapt into action to keep this show afloat, keep the pace up. Go on.
Right, well,
Karl, are you hungover as well, or?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm with you. Do you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
hasn't got much to do all week.
You're having a laugh.
What?
What angers me is I kind of hope that maybe I could have quite a long career in radio, and I sort of feel like I don't know, the word sinking ship. Those words spring to mind.
But
because it feels like, I mean, Karl, you're just a chancer anyway. You weren't even supposed to be on air, and we've made you into something of a household name, and that's cool.
Household name.
And Ricky's already a celebrity. He's got it stitched up. He's got corporates. He's got voiceover work. But I've got nothing. I'm running on empty. I'm not nothing. I've got nothing. I'm sort of dependent a bit on this.
Yeah.
Financially. And,
go on then. What
and you two are sort of bringing it down, really.
Right.
Do you reckon I can get my own show, Karl?
Carl. Tell them
like
what I did
Capital
out there
Gold,
with a
wasn't
bit. No, Carl, tell them how funny I was out there with a bit in that a minute ago.
So anyway, come
Karl,
on,
I'm
right?
bored of this.
I'll tell you what. will we tease them with what we've got coming up next?
Yeah,
Karl, tease us after the next
Because I
record.
think we've already got them for 2 hours.
Yeah, we've hooked them, Karl. Don't worry, this is textbook radio.
What's this? Badly Drawn Boy.
Yeah.
Badly Drawn Boy. You were right. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Karl, you were saying what's coming up?
Right, over the next 2 hours then, last week was a bit of a mess.
Don't be silly.
So I've sorted it out. We'll be doing the same features.
Right.
We've got...
I think that was the reason it was a mess, if I'm honest.
Well...
You've tightened it, you tightened the ship.
Tightened it up, and also keeping people for longer.
Okay.
Right,
So-
tell me your plans.
What have you come up with
Tell
then?
me your ethos behind this then.
Right.
Always show your workings, Karl.
Always show your workings, Karl.
Alright then, so last week we started good sort of play on words that we had going.
Go on.
The well-known film Educating Rita.
Yeah. That's become, thanks to Karl Pilkington's brain, it's become...
I've tweaked it a bit, and now it's Educating Ricky.
Brilliant.
Right? And that was a new feature we started last week, if you weren't listening, where I teach Ricky stuff.
What did you teach me?
Taught you about that little Chinese hairy kid.
Yeah, you didn't teach me anything. You said there was a kid that was born that was slightly hairy than other
Taught
Chinese
you
people.
where the saying "chewing the fat" came from.
I enjoyed
That was good. That was interesting.
good.
And
And a man who had a beard because he was being abducted for 3 days. Again, that was rubbish.
Lest we forget.
That taught me more about you than about alien abduction.
but what happened last week is
Go on.
we sort of talked about it all in one go, and you can't.
Whereas this week you've done what? You've spread it out over the show.
Well, I spread it across the 2 hours because I always found that if you try to be taught too much in one go, you just can't take it in and it'll be wasted.
Is that your experience of school?
Yeah,
They taught you in 3-minute bursts. You might
yeah,
have
and not every day.
Yeah.
Every other
when
month.
you felt like it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're going to do, right?
So we've got Educating Ricky coming up. That's
Educating
exciting
Ricky across the 2 hours.
Okay, look forward to
and
that.
what I do is I've made little headlines again, and you decide which story you want to go
All of
for
them.
first.
Well, give me the first headline.
No, not yet. We'll do that in a
Well,
bit.
give me a teaser.
Hang on a minute, I'm telling you what else.
Oh, yeah.
We've also got, we started it last week, Rockbusters.
Oh, yeah, that was a triumph.
Yeah.
I think we went wrong there.
Why?
By letting you do it?
Doing it on air?
Not thinking it through.
Yeah.
Bit of that.
Okay, so what's the rules on Rockbusters?
We're going to do Rockbusters,
Okay.
but you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk when you know the answers,
Okay.
right? And sort of round near the end of the show, right,
Yeah.
we'll give out the answers then. So if they think they know the answers, they've got to hang about.
Rick, I should tell you now,
I'm not hanging about.
don't think that the listeners are going to go away empty-handed. because there's some
I was worried
cracking
about that.
prizes.
I was worried about that.
I can tell you where, don't worry, because Karl has sorted out some top quality prizes.
Good.
First up, this is stuff that people can win, and be excited about this. First up, it's a DVD of The Office. I don't know how he got hold of it. I don't know how he got hold of it. Because they are like gold dust.
Yeah.
There's this is the second gift. Now bear in mind, I don't know where he's rummaged that from. This is an XFM compilation album.
Oh,
he's managed to sort that out somehow.
Excellent.
I don't know how he sorted that out. There's another compilation album which has got some sort of indie type hits of these. But this is
Have
possibly...
you got a film to give away?
Well, I'm glad you've asked.
What
'cause
film though? Because
I know you're a big fan of DVDs. It's one of the big hot releases that everyone's keen to get their hands on.
Not arbitrary, is it? It's not the only one. This film title won't be an arbitrary film, will it? It'll be a big...
Rick, I don't want you thinking that the film that Karl has sorted out is that he's sourced for us. It's just an arbitrary thing that you wouldn't get. You could buy for $3.99 in HMV.
Yeah.
Right, they're giving these away.
One of those big baskets.
Exactly. I don't know who is phoning up to try and win this,
Okay.
but you can be
If
lucky
this is
winner.
your favourite film, it's yours.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this is the big star prize. This
What
is
is
the one
it?
you're all playing for. It's Children of the Corn. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. It's a widescreen presentation on DVD.
Imagine getting that and going, excellent. We can watch this now.
But Rick, I mean, let me just run through some of the cast. Peter Horton. Pete Horton's in it. and that's about
I'll
it.
tell you what, I don't want to give it away if Hort is in it.
Exactly.
I'd love to see his
If
performance
Porter's
again.
in it. Also, Linda Hamilton. I know you're all
Linda
everyone will be fans
Hamilton,
of
she
Linda
plays a piece of corn.
Hamilton. Exactly. And I don't know. I've not seen Children of the Corn. I could be wrong, but
But
it
that's
says
great.
it
Carl,
says
when
it's
you
amazing.
were around the office, why didn't you start throwing like a mouse mat and a pair of scissors and a pencil? Because that is just arbitrary.
That's an arbitrary selection.
That's next week's stuff.
But also, I should say, we also have some. This is a little bit more exciting. We've also got some tickets for DJ Shadow, who's performing at the Brixton Academy this
He's good,
evening.
isn't he? He's good at
9
DJing.
o'clock. So he's very good at DJing and scratching and the like.
Plays all the records that you want.
Exactly.
Plays all the records that you want. Don't bring your own. He's got them all. He's got them all. I've seen him arrive. He's got 2 big bags of them.
Yeah. So there's 3 pairs of
I feel
DJ
sick.
Shadow tickets. We'll give those away later as well.
Is there any
Don't
lemonade?
just start phoning arbitrarily now.
No.
We'll give those away in our
Is
own
there
good
any
time.
lemonade?
Sorry.
I need some lemonade.
Okay. Well, while we sort out some lemonade, let's play a tune. Come on, Carl. What's wrong? Ryan Adams from his new album Demolition,
Brilliant.
a track called Nuclear.
Yeah. I've found a new way of making it more exciting. When you're talking about something, I'll go, yeah, brilliant, agreeing with you, making it all interesting.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a really good album, that.
yeah.
And
Brilliant.
it's
Brilliant.
apparently just a collection of sort of demos and songs he had lying around.
Oh, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
We're giving away those DVDs and Children
Look
of the
forward
Corn.
to that, Children of the Corn.
I've got an interesting anecdote about the Office. Carl, me and Carl went out, right? With me and Jane, Carl and Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it? Carl, I'm talking to you. Wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't
Gigi,
Is it important who went?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking on the street. Carl was there though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and this little funny homeless fella, didn't he? He I got to tell you before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
he came up to me, right, and he recognised me. Talking's more difficult than you think. Right, and he came up to me and he went, he said, I've just nicked 5 of your DVDs from HMV. And he shook my hand. He was so happy with it. And I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top. Like that when I'm going out. And he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. That great.
He said they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, he said they're going up, of course they are.
Yeah, you're nicking them.
I know. We get paid for them though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones?
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? I know you idiot. What, so, he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you say he was homeless, was he?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
No.
Surely, how would he have seen the show? He'd just walked past Curry's one morning.
Dixon's.
Yeah.
That's any
Seen
idea.
a trailer for it. I thought, interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless. I didn't go into his home
Sure.
life.
He
But,
shook his hand, though, and...
but
he went.
he made Karl look smart. Do you know what I mean? So, but he wasn't Northern, was he?
No, it was like, do you know in the Fast Show with Paul Whitehouse, when he did that character, that shady character?
Yes.
The spit of that,
Was
like
it?
a ponytail, t-shirt on, a bit too big for him, and just the movement and everything, really like a cockney, little cheeky chap type person.
a little cockney cheeky chap.
And, he just said, it's you. Said,
Yeah.
you got your DVDs, got 6 of them from HMV, going like hotcakes they are. And then off he went, whistling.
Yeah.
Well chuffed with himself.
Yeah.
Going like hotcakes.
What's he going to do with them then? Probably sell them.
Yeah.
How does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go up to people and go, do you want an Office DVD? They're not nicked.
Yeah.
4 quid.
Yeah, exactly. Are these stolen? No.
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, those cab drivers that you'll meet at sort of 3 a.m. who've just got a car.
Yeah.
And just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And just, I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once. I said to him, the guy just pulled up. I said, he said, I was in like East London. I'm going back to North London. I said, going to Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off. He went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you'd know the way. You're in a cabbie. And he went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're going to go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver,
Yeah.
2 things. Take a map and a torch. He didn't have
Yeah.
either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, right, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. About 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought you did.
Oh.
It was lewd. I mean,
Let me out.
You know,
4
yeah,
quid.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands that they just think, it's 3 a.m. I'm at a loose end. I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Well, yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it 1 year. Never asked him again.
Tell us the story again.
I'd rather not, because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why did you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do. So,
but we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a, you know, you shouldn't do it.
Nah, yeah, but that's how I did it last time, but people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah.
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know I was in hospital?
Yeah.
You know, he did some jokes about old people and that. And he said, at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. And if it makes you laugh, you can't help laughing, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, what are you meant to do? And laughing's good for you.
Yeah.
So,
but being laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So it's
Jesus. Give me an example of that. Give me an example.
Well, for instance, Karl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
Yeah. No, give me an example of like, so, you know.
I can't, because again, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you the story, because there might be someone out there who, this person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me.
Yeah.
So I prefer to leave it, but I think people know.
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing though?
You see, I can't explain.
You can, don't be silly.
I prefer to leave it, honestly.
What was he doing? Was he annoying him?
He was annoying my dad and the other people in the cab.
Right.
And he thought, how can I deal with this before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah.
He pulled over and put the lad in a wheelie bin.
I'm going to embarrass.
So we'll leave that. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How old was the kid?
I'm not sure, but I mean, it was a trip to sort of Blackpool, so I'm guessing.
Do you think it was one of the rides?
17.
This is rubbish.
17?
Yeah.
Oh, he's quite an old lad then.
So a big lad.
Yeah.
But let's.
Did he pick him up?
He picked him up and put him in a wheelie bin.
Every time he says it, I like it.
And then on the way back, he got him back again. He said, right, you won't do that again.
On the way back?
Yeah, he left him there for a bit.
He left him there, what, they went to Blackpool and he left the kid in the wheelie bin?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
What, was the kid in the wheelie bin when he drove back?
Yeah.
Did he not get out?
No, because how do you get out? It's tricky, isn't it? And he wasn't a normal kid, was he? Let's leave it.
He wasn't a normal kid.
Right then. So,
Is your father in prison? I think he should be.
Can we put a song on?
Yeah, go on then.
Feeder, come back around, XFM, 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I asked Karl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Karl?
I just think that
They're shifty.
All other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them.
A wasp,
Nothing.
never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub?
Yeah.
And you fed it, you had its favourite marmalade.
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it, so it's not going to, like, use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp.
Do you think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it? They're like sort of like delinquent insects?
I think so, because last night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learned last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you. Apparently not. You've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having its leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said,
Almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly not.
Were you watching a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
It's
right,
part of the thing.
So if you don't trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, was put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it,
okay,
and it's shooting you, right, and you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind has been put into an animal.
Anyway, yeah, so it's you in this animal thinking you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow somewhere and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Karl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Karl, don't I, these conversations? Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it. You think about it just for a second. So let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London, right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body.
And they're shooting them.
Brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving there's a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident. Yeah. So think of something that people wouldn't,
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously, aren't you, Karl?
You've only got a couple
You've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So something with speed.
Yeah, it's
something that can travel quite speedily.
Wow.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Karl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so it goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement. Think if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now...
People get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it. You said you could.
There certainly wouldn't be.
So,
No.
Pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
yeah.
So that's genius.
Yeah.
That's
what would
good
you rather
thinking.
have, right? Roller skate feet, and there's little wheels, right? Chopstick hands. Yeah? Instead of hands. Chopsticks instead of hands. Wheels instead of feet.
Yeah.
Right? Or acne.
How big are the wheels?
Can I take you guys back to the old school? Do you mind if we take it back to the old school?
Well, yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to lay on me?
No, I just maybe a bit of a De La Soul.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is it wrong
Yeah.
going back to the old school?
No.
We don't need to go. If you don't
As long as it's vinyl shit.
it is indeed. Slam it on. De La Soul. Old school.
Brilliant.
Jam named Saturday.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Good stuff. Karl, so educating Ricky. You were going to tease us now with some of the big headlines.
He's
Getting grooving. He really is in the groove.
really is dancing there.
Right.
Right.
So,
Okay.
the way this works is,
What would you rather be, Karl?
I teach you
Superheroes.
3 things.
A frog boy, yeah, that you could leap onto a house, but you had to go first and leap onto a house. You're this frog boy, right? And that could be useful, couldn't it?
That's very useful, yeah.
Right, amploid, where you've got your hands and microphones, and you can talk into your hand and your whole body. It's like 100 decibels. You can go, "Oi, come here." and people can hear you from miles away, amploid, right? Right? Or sado, right? And that means that you can go out to anyone and go, all right, and they don't know why, they just get fed up for the whole day.
Which of those would you prefer? Don't answer now, have a think about it.
The frog thing, do I look like one, or...
No, it's just you and your little Ben Sherman shirt and everything, and they go, and people walk along and they go, oh, look at that young child on that roof. He's going to fall. I wish Frog Boy was here. And you go, blah. And you go down, you go, blah. And they go, it is him. And they don't recognise you when you're squatting. They go, I don't know who you are. And you leap up there and say, and you come back and they go, where's Frog Boy? And you're standing up and you go, don't know, he went that way.
Yeah, I'd probably have that one.
Probably go with Frog Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
Right, so, did that just go out?
What?
All that.
God, I got a bad...
Hey, look, Rick, Karl's really planned this show. He's really worked out. He came in early, he was writing things down.
And there's me just coming up with rubbish
and
like
you're
that.
just talking rubbish. So, Karl, I know you've been thinking this through. What have you got?
So, Educating Ricky, we did it last week. It's where I teach you some stuff, but rather than just teach you something, I tease you, so you want to know more, so you want to take in information, right? So,
if only people had taught you like that, Karl.
So, and also, it's the name of a film, sort of, nearly.
Coming up soon, Henry VIII and his, well, how many wives? Come back tomorrow, Karl, to find out.
The little headlines I've got to sort of tease you with the story.
Yeah, this is going to hurt me and I'm not very well. Go on.
Right, we've got
So this is what? Sorry, I've just got lost for a minute there.
It's Educating Ricky.
This is Educating Ricky, and these are the stories that these are the things you're going to tell him.
Yeah,
but these are just headline versions.
These are headlines.
This is not the actual fact.
Then I think people will remember things.
Okay, all right. So you sort of bullet points.
Who can forget hairy Chinese boy?
Indeed, I shall never forget that.
Yeah.
So first headline. Don't do that to it. You know it can't live without an head.
I've got no idea. It could be about the French Revolution. It could be about anything.
I know what it is.
No, you think you do. But,
no. It's something I taught you. Is it the fact that cockroaches can live for 9 days without a head?
That's part of it, but it's something different as well. That's what I thought we'd bring up.
Okay, brilliant. So that's something to
next one. You won't work it out. If only it was raining.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Go on.
And the last one. What's tomato with you?
What's tomato with you?
Yeah. Look how pleased he is.
You're obsessed with puns, aren't you, at the moment, Kay?
It just works. I think it works.
Yeah. You love puns.
So, there you go.
So which of those are you going to choose, right?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to choose. Don't do that. You know it can't live without an head.
Can we play a tune and we'll come back with that?
I can
find out what that is. Yeah. Wow, what a history lesson that's going to be.
Dandy Warhols and Bohemian Like You on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, what's the story then?
Right, so what did you say you're going for? You've got your 3 titles, your 3 teasers.
Well, I think I'm going to go for Don't Do That to It. You know it can't live without an head.
I'm looking forward to this.
Right.
So this is Educating Ricky, for those that have just tuned in.
Now, something that Ricky told me about when he was educating me was that a cockroach, if you cut its head off, it lives for a week.
Yeah.
Right?
And the only reason it dies is because it can't take on water.
Sure. It doesn't have a great time in that week, though, does it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't get much done, I don't imagine.
It just needs water, and because it can't find any, like its eyes, it eventually dies.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So what?
No, it's not. That's not. It's
Anyway.
You can't drink.
Anyway.
So have you heard that one about worms?
Okay.
I have. Go on.
If you cut a worm in half, a lot of people have said in the past that it'll turn into 2 worms.
Right.
But that isn't actually true.
Okay. Who said that?
No, it used to be like,
kids at school
said it on, kids at school and stuff.
Yeah.
So that, a lot of people think that.
Don't pick him up on stuff, Steve. It's bad enough.
Sure.
So, but what they can do, if you get a worm, right, and you find out which end its head's at.
Right.
If you you've got its head there at the left-hand side, right, and if you sort of cut it in half,
right,
but not in half, so there's more of its neck than the tail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The bit that you've cut off will sort of die, and the rest of the worm will get better. So in a way, you can cut it in half, and it'll survive. but only one half will survive.
Okay.
Yeah? What have you learned there?
I wish you hadn't chosen that one.
I know, because it's nothing, is it?
Yeah.
You know that joke, how would you tell a worm's head from its eye? You put it in a bowl of flour and wait till it farts.
Yes.
Right? I told my mate that, right? And he went, what if it coughs?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there is a bit of truth in that myth of cutting one in half.
Where did you get this information? I don't understand where you get this information
That was from the Fortean Times. It was like the myth about worms.
Yeah.
That was the big article that week.
Did it take you as long to read that article as it took you to tell us just then?
I like the fact that it starts off debunking a myth that we hadn't heard of anyway.
Exactly.
You know the big thing about cutting a worm in half and making two worms?
No.
Yeah. What's the other one? What's the other
It's not
headline?
the thing to do either, by the way. Don't go doing it.
No. It's not very nice.
But,
It's cruel.
but it can get by
And
if
it's
you do.
pointless.
Yeah.
There's no scientific worth
Yeah.
in that.
Well, there you go.
Okay then.
So the others now, you see
What's the
what I
others?
do. No,
What's
I
the
tell you
others?
the other titles. You're not having them yet. That's the whole idea of this. People will be driving or about to go out doing the shopping. They'll think about that now.
What was the other two?
Well, the other two.
They won't think about that. They've forgotten
No,
that
they will.
already.
They will.
No, they've forgotten that already.
If only it was raining. And what's tomato with you?
Right, you've
I'm
got
looking
tell-
forward to that one.
No, you've got to tell me tomorrow with you.
Look what's happening. You see, you already want more education, and this is what listeners will be doing.
I tell you, I wish you were a teacher. I so wish you were a teacher.
Do you know what I mean? Kids would be saying, I know it's 3:30, but I don't want to go home. I want more.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm teaching you.
Why are
taking
you
in
teaching
information.
me things about not to cut worms in half and what's tomato with you? Please tell me what's tomato with you, Karl.
In a bit.
No.
In a bit.
Rick,
What?
I tell you, he's thought the show through. He's
Yeah.
teasing the audience. You're excited. They're listening.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So listen, I think we should all, because we got your competition to squeeze and we got all these great goodies. Let's not
This is
forget.
amazing.
Hello, children of the corn.
I do feel
gotta
slightly
get that
guilty
away
that,
before
that now this is Karl Pilkington show. I don't think we should have our names involved.
No.
It's not fair, is it? And I think we should give Karl the money.
I don't want my
Yeah.
name to this. It's the Ricky Gervais show. Yeah. Right, the quiz.
Yeah.
Will we get out of the way because they've only got an hour to start.
Don't you
emailing.
worry about that, Carl. I've already got this one. I'm thinking on your terms now. Let's play a tune. We'll come back
What
with
we play?
the big competition information. All right? Money Mark. We got a classic from Money Mark from his album Push the Button. Play that, Carl. And afterwards, are you excited? You got the competition. Look at his face. He's so excited now. He's thought this through.
He's loving it.
Rockbusters.
Yeah. What?
Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Go on.
You're rejuvenated, are you?
Yeah, let's
You're
go
feeling
for it now.
okay?
Let's-
Second hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hangover finished with?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
all done?
Done.
Good.
Done. I had some water.
Excellent. That'll often sort it out.
Yeah.
Well done.
Flea is the best way.
He just had an argument with a punter. Someone called up and said, I don't think a flea's very good. How would the flea know? Tell him what he said. He said, how would the flea know what train to get on? He went, he gets to Houston and look at the timetable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went, we're not going to agree on this. He got annoyed at him because the bloke said he'd be better to be a wasp.
Yeah.
A wasp would not survive, would it, on, a Virgin train or something? So...
Why wouldn't it?
It just wouldn't, because people really don't like wasps, so somebody would end up clouting it and killing it, and that brain would never get to his body. So...
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it is quiz time.
Hooray! This is the moment we've all been looking forward to.
Go on. Do you want to tease them with the prizes?
No. Not really, because they might not bother phoning in. Or it's not a phone, or is it? It's an email. All
right.
Okay, well, a quick reminder then. We've got to the office. I don't want people to think that we'll just keep plugging the office DVD. We've got nothing else to give away.
No one gives anything away.
No,
Those
that's
were just
why.
hanging around in Karl's little room.
Did you get a guy from HMV just to nick? Did you get a guy just nick these from
Was it
HMV and carry
the
them out?
beard and the ponytail?
Was that the
Yeah.
story? So we got the Office DVD, obviously. We got the remix, XFM's remix album, Volume 2. That's sort of remixes of various tunes. Quite a good little compilation album here. One of those kind of the best Coldplay, Travis, Oasis, blah, 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 blah albums in the world
Excellent.
ever. And,
Let's take some of them, 'cause there's nothing in the library.
Exactly, have a look on there. See what
4
you fancy.
Alanis Morissette, 9 Catatonia. I just counted, isn't that?
But the big one, the big star prize that you're all playing for is, of course, the DVD widescreen version of Children of the Corn, Stephen King's horror film, lest we forget it's got Peter Horton as the star. so look forward to that. We're going to give Shadow away separately, are we? We're going to do that separately?
Yeah.
We'll give away the DJ Shadow tickets at a separate...
Right, so we're playing for those DVDs and CDs, and what
And
we're
it's an
going to
email
do...
competition, don't bother phoning in.
Email, yeah, the phone lines are lighting up a bit, so put the phone down, get the computer started up,
Yep.
and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answers to these, right? And the way it works, we did it last week, but if you didn't hear it, I'll give you some initials and like a bit of a cryptic clue. So, and you work out who the band is or the artist, right? It's always a band or an artist. It's not any TV programs and that. So, say like last week we had S, didn't we? And it was better than the average homeless person, and that was Supertramp. Right, so it's not always XFM music; it can be anything. And there's 3 of them.
They've got to get all 3, have they?
You've got to get all 3 and email in.
How long this intro so far has taken.
Yeah, but here we go then. Right. First initials, LR.
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 Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cryptic clue is.
You should have thought it through. You should have thought it out before you came in.
Yeah, cryptic clue.
You got it.
Yeah.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
LR.
LR.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
And don't shout out if you know the answer, because...
No.
No idea, Karl. No idea.
Right, okay, so there's 1. Right, the second one, FL.
FL.
This one's actually been emailed in as a suggestion.
Okay.
That person who's done that, don't email in, because you're disqualified from the comp. So
I'd love him to be a teacher.
So-
it'd be great, wouldn't it? Just to see him one day. Can't we do that? Can't we get you a placement somewhere for you to teach history to sort of like, 14-year-olds?
I think science, Rick.
Science would be good, yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
Go on.
You got a lot of, just quickly for me, Karl, explain, say, what can we get him to explain that everyone learns as a kid? Science.
Photosynthesis.
Right. So FL, right? FL are the letters, and the cryptic clue: blow the candles out before you eat the cake.
Blow the candles out before you eat the cake.
Yeah. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. The letters there, FL.
All right. We've got LR, we've got FL.
Yeah. And finally, the third one, NS.
Hold on, how many have they got to get?
3.
Don't worry, there's no more after this, Rick.
Right? NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? Right? That's one of mine. So very quickly recap, just in case we missed any. LR is the first one. LR. I'll take that book to the toilet with me. Cryptic clue. We had FL. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. And the final one, NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? If you think you know the bands, you just email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You win the DVDs, the CDs, and that's it.
He's great, isn't he? I could sit here and watch him all day do this. Wow.
So ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
And we'll give the answers out just before, we finish, because then we'll keep them upped.
All right.
Karl, just briefly, this is module 4A, natural history. Yeah. Just briefly explain evolution. So, natural selection, origin of the species, Darwin. Just briefly describe.
That's the monkey thing. It is, isn't it?
Oh, well done.
Yeah, go on.
Tune, Karl.
What do you have fancy playing?
Rick, I know you're always keen to rejuvenate the reputations of certain artists when you think maybe they've been kind of unfairly treated in the history of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a band I've always thought has been treated badly.
Yeah.
The Lemonheads.
Go on.
You with me?
Yeah.
Lemonheads, if I could talk, I'd tell you.
Yeah.
He wrote some good little tunes, Evan Dando, before he went to the potty.
What would you rather have, right? Karl, would you rather have a lemon for a head, a radio for a head, what other band is there with something head?
Radiohead. Oh, you've done that.
Yeah. Or a talking head.
Right. Third one.
No, but you don't know what. No, because you've got you, and then you've got someone else's head on top, and it doesn't shut up. It's my head. It's my talking head coming out of your head. Yeah. So a radio head, just a radio head, and you can tune in, right?
You know, you said, Karl, that wasps were one of the most irritating things on the planet. Can I offer another suggestion?
Yeah.
You with me on that?
I am
No,
today.
go on then. Okay.
Educating Ricky, we got 2 left, don't we? I'm looking
We've
forward
still
to
got
these.
2 more. We've still got If Only It Was Raining, and What's Tomato With You?
The way he says it. I'll tell you what, I wish the listeners could see how happy he was when we started getting emails coming in.
Oh yeah, people, they're flooding in actually.
Yeah, and he's so happy. He started dancing along going, well, that proves it's a good competition, he said.
Look at that, look at that.
whole
Look
load
at
of
that,
us.
mate.
What?
There's
Look
loads of
at
people
that.
emailing there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it is, Carl. It's not the competition. It's this, Children of the Corn. Widescreen DVD.
Next week, some staples and pencils.
I'll tell you what.
A piece of carpet.
Tell you what, right?
What?
Now we've got them and they're staying. Something we've still got to do.
Yeah.
Is
He is running the show now. He's doing well, isn't he? Because I've done nothing. I've done nothing towards this. I'm coming out of my hangover a little bit, if you're worried.
remember.
So, go on.
Remember last week we
Yeah.
started a new feature called
Yeah.
That Song's Got a Good Story in It. And
Brilliant. I love your catchy titles. They're excellent.
right, and the idea was it was a story in
Yeah.
a song, which meant that if it was played on the radio, you couldn't just like fade it out because you've got to have the full story.
Yeah.
Right. Well, last week we started the feature with Stevie Wonder, Living for the City.
Yeah.
Right.
But you played the version where it fades out.
Yeah, I didn't know there was more to it. So Steve told me what album it was on.
Yeah.
I've gone and got it. We've got the second half to that story
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
So you've got half the story. What was it? What had happened is like the lad's living in Mississippi. There's not much going on there.
Mississippi. That's someone off Rainbow's mum.
Yeah.
Living, what, Mississippi?
Yeah. His dad's his man was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Trying to get by. They didn't have a great life, but they still looked after the kids and stuff. There's more to it than that.
Have you got it ready?
There's more to it than
haven't got it
that.
ready.
I should hope so.
We'll probably do it at about 3:30.
So look forward
Okay.
to that, the second half
got
of
that.
Stevie Wonder's Living for the City a week later. I love a show that's carefully planned. So listen, I watched the
This
tomato
isn't a
thing.
show. This isn't a show. This isn't a radio show. This is.
I don't know what this is.
No, I don't know what it is. We just might as well start banging tambourines. And, it's ridiculous. This is rubbish, right? But wait, like, some people emailed in, put him in a wheelie bin, went to Blackpool, right? Some people emailed in the stories, songs with stories in it. One of them was Babushka, and he went, "What's that?" And I went, "That's Katie Bush." I went, "What is it?" I said, "Oh, it's about a woman who dresses up as another woman and seduces her husband." He went, "They wouldn't work." Just dismissed it like that. Why do you think it would work?
Because you'd know. I mean, say like, right, Suzanne, right, who I
Yeah.
go out with,
Yeah.
right? She can see me from, say, if I'm coming down the high street,
Yeah.
she knows it's me by the way I walk.
Right.
So just the fact that this woman went and put a wig on, there is no...
You haven't even heard the song!
I know, but you're saying that she put a disguise on and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I fancy her, and he takes her out and he doesn't know it's his missus. I just...
You're not buying it.
I mean, I'm controlling this
Whereas
feature.
the flea with your brain going to Glasgow, perfect sense. Yeah. Babushka, rubbish.
Carl, can we have the tomato story after the next tune?
Yeah.
Bit of Coldplay.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Coldplay. The Scientist on XFM 104.9. Right. Competition, isn't it?
No, it's Educating Ricky Part 2.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I wasn't even listening. He's doing all the work. I wasn't even listening. Oh, and he spilled some water down on that. Right, what's this one again then?
Right.
What's the teaser headline?
Teaser headline is "What's Tomato with You?"
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Go on then.
How excited were you when you came up with that? You couldn't wait to come in and tell us, could you?
I think it's a good one because you won't forget it now, will you? I mean, like the worm one. What's so special about the worm?
A lot of people think that if you cut a worm in half, two worms will grow, but no. What happens is if you cut the head end slightly nearer the tail than the tail will die, but the worm with the head will be okay. So, it's exploded a myth. And taught me something.
Right, so the second one, part 2 of Educating Ricky. What's Tomato with You?
Yeah.
What this one's about is, ages ago,
It's scientific.
There's never a date. There's never a country, a location.
Okay, settle down, children. This is A-level history. Right.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. When a mental place with swords was a king, forget his name, but he was a loony. So, and it was we're literally ages ago.
Yeah.
So, good luck in the exam. Yeah.
right? So, like, all right, many years ago,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cleared that up. Go on.
they thought tomatoes were poisonous. Right?
Okay.
Because what
Hold on, are they going to be proved wrong at the end of this story?
Well,
Because I don't want to give away the ending, but is it something to do with the Are they poisonous tomatoes?
No.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
I don't believe it.
But,
Go on.
They could have been eating tomatoes all this time.
Oh, Steve, what's tomato with you anyway?
Okay, so think a minute.
What's
Let's just
tomato with
recap
you?
quickly. Many years ago,
Yeah.
when people thought tomatoes were poisonous.
Yeah.
Go on, yeah.
Well, they didn't know they were poisonous then because they were still eating them. But what was happening?
Well, they're not.
was-
But they're not poisonous.
But hang on a minute.
All right. And it's not. I'm just going to listen. I'm not even
Okay,
going to talk.
okay, I'm not going to tackle it
So,
anymore.
if you remember, years ago they didn't have like pottery plates. they had lead plates, right?
What are you talking?
Just let him talk.
Sorry, what year is this?
Let him talk.
Come on.
Plates made out of lead, and
Right.
what they'd end up doing, they'd say, right, do you want a tomato? And they go, yeah, all right. And they'd put the tomato on the lead plate and cut it, and because of the acid in the tomato, right, it would sort of make the lead runny, and the lead would go into the tomato, and they'd say, oh, it's lovely this, and they'd be eating it. They'd get food poisoning, lead poisoning, what have you, and they'd be really ill. So they thought tomatoes were poisonous, so they didn't eat them for many years.
And when
then
you say
someone said,
they, do you
this
mean
didn't
the
happen.
people of Narnia?
Yeah, this didn't happen.
Where was
Carl.
this happening?
Sort of in Britain and that.
You put him on the spot there. Oh, I hope there's no uppity pupils at this school when they go, what do you mean, sir? Oh, if you're going to... Oh, I'm fed up with you.
Do you understand?
No.
So the
No, you've got... No, right, okay, first of all, Carl, where'd you get this information from?
Where did I
14
get
times
that?
as well?
Do you know?
You can't remember.
I don't know where I got that from. I don't know where I got it from. But why don't you think that makes sense?
But, what? Someone once got lead poisoning from a tomato?
Not just one, loads, and then all of a sudden. No.
Why is this educating me?
Because I'm telling you that tomatoes, you
But I
eat them.
can't take anything away from this. I don't know what to take away from this. What have I learned? What have I learned? Don't mix lead with tomatoes. Why is this educational in any shape or form? What are you telling me? A long time ago in the land of Glunk, right, where the ninnies did slib, right, they thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate plates of lead. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we all know tomatoes aren't poisonous.
Is that what we're taking from the story?
Is that the moral of the story? Don't believe these people that I'd never heard of before. What are you talking about, Carl?
I think it's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
Is these the same people that were spreading those malicious worm rumours?
My hangover's coming back. I've got to get some water. Play a record that was rubbish. I'm eating.
Hey?
I'm eating.
So am I. Carl, you have to carry on.
Right, yeah.
We're all eating.
Those crisps, food crisps.
So last week, you were playing your feature, that song I shouldn't switch off because I'm enjoying the story.
Yeah.
And we played Living for the City, only you played the single mix, which doesn't have the entire second act, if you will. Yeah. So, Carl, you've not heard it before.
I've never heard it before.
You're excited to hear the second act, because as far as you're aware, there was a young guy, he's living with his family, they're fairly impoverished in Mississippi, but, you know, they're happy, they're getting on all right. But you're not even aware that he's moving to the big city.
No, it just fades out.
Well, that's the city in question.
I mean, I've liked this song for, must be, 3 or 4 years, and I've always listened to the single version. I had no idea that I didn't know the full story. So,
yeah. It's not, I mean, and I know your attention to detail, you like to know the full story, like, where everything was.
Well, the whole idea of the feature is to say, you've got to listen to the song.
Where was the lead plate thing? Where was the lead plate thing?
That was like a few years back.
Where was it?
In Britain and Scotland.
Yeah.
It was a problem all over the world. They had to deal with it.
You're making it up now.
Is it something you saw in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway.
Yeah. So the Lion and the Witch, go on.
Go on.
So far then, what did we learn in this story from
We
Stevie
learned so
Wonder?
far from Stevie that there's a young lad, he's got a family, he's fairly happy, except they're very poor, and they struggle to get by, but they're happy they're doing it anyway. He's moving to the big city. Carl, this is the bit you didn't realise. Just play the track.
Okay, here we go. So this is halfway through.
This is
now,
halfway
yeah?
through the tune now. You've not heard this before, have you?
Let's go.
Sorry, we accidentally played an episode of Kojak. By mistake. We were going to play a song.
Carl, what did you make of that then?
Yeah, what's happening there then?
Eh? He was living with his family, he was fairly impoverished.
He went
He's
on a
moved
bus,
to the
that
new...
bus he was on, was it?
Right, so
what's your take on it, Carl?
After hearing that, what I've worked out by it, the first part that we heard last week, everything's alright, but it's not that great living in Mississippi, right? So he goes, I'm going to go to New York. There's plenty of work there.
Yeah.
They'll sort of accept me as, you know, and everything. So he goes there, and the weird thing is, he's hardly, like, been in New York for a second. He gets on a bus, all of a sudden some copper's arresting him. He's like, what's going on? And then he's got 10 years. I mean, what you can't hear, because the levels are quite bad. I mean, I work with sound. I can't really hear what's going on.
You're criticising Stevie
I'm sort
Wonder,
of guessing that he didn't pay his bus fare or something. And
10 years. He got 10 years for that.
I really don't know what was going on.
Right.
Oh.
But you're not happy because obviously it's quite dangerous.
Do you think Stevie Wonder left out some vital ingredients in the story in your education, like where it was, or at least he got where it was? You can tell what year it is. It's right in the mid-70s there. That funky New York 70s sound.
All right.
Yeah.
You're pretty disappointed, aren't you? You're pretty worried
So what went on?
Yeah.
What happened?
You're aware, Carl, that because that shows quite a bad image of New York. It's quite an intolerant city, by all accounts. They arrested a guy.
But it is quite
seemingly
bad
for being black.
That's one song where you shouldn't go to New York. Killing a Georgie Rod Stewart. That lad, he was doing all right in Scotland and said, I'm going to go to the big city. He got done in.
Yeah.
Seems to me it's that you don't go there if you've got like problems. Don't think New York's the answer.
Right.
Oh, hold on, yeah. So what you're saying, that if you're a bit fed up with your life, but you live with your mum and she's like really nice and you got friends and life's not that bad, don't go and be murdered, or what? What are you saying? Don't go and be murdered.
Well,
don't
leave
what? Go on.
Leave home, but don't go to New York.
Right.
There's other places.
Where would you go? Sheffield?
Well, don't know, but
yeah.
But you're a little mank lad, weren't you? You're in your garden. We had your train set. Your brother blew up. There was a horse next door, and you thought, I want to go to London. So, do you know what I mean? You're like that.
Yeah, but
you're in many ways like the fella in that song, and like Georgie.
No, because
in many ways you are a bit like Georgie, aren't you?
I had a car, so
no, are you a little bit like Georgie in many ways?
I didn't get on a bus. I had a car, so I wasn't going to have the problem he had for a start.
Right.
But I mean, I suppose there's loads of things you can look at that story and take out of it. That's what I like about the feature, right?
What?
So
that's what you like about the feature.
The feature that we're doing.
Oh, right.
That song's got a good story.
If you had a time machine, where would you go? What year would you go?
Probably the 60s.
Okay, would you go forward at all? What's your favourite year in the future?
No, I don't know.
If someone could tell your future to you,
you wouldn't
want to know.
No.
Straight away, you knew that. Straight away, there was no hesitation.
Yeah.
You've thought about this, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've thought to yourself, if someone can reveal my future,
Carl, you've got
know.
to do one of these things, right? He's like Quantum Leap, like a fella in Quantum Leap. What's his name?
I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a little fella with Hal, and he's telling you, right? Would you rather go back, and you go in someone's body, would you rather go back, you could go back to be, a donkey that's carrying Mary to Bethlehem. You could, be a Saigon prostitute in 1975. All those GIs queuing up.
Think about it.
Or you could be Moby Dick.
Which of those would you be, Carl? Think about it.
Probably Moby Dick's the best option, isn't it?
Okay.
So
What work have we got?
Play a tune, Carl. After this, we need to educate Ricky for the final time.
Final time educating Ricky.
We've still got to give away these tickets to DJ Shadow, and we've got to give the answers to your magnificent
we've only got a
competition.
quarter now. It's not enough time in this show. It's packed.
Race for the prize from the Flaming Lips. Competition answer time, is it, Carl?
Yeah, we did this like about an hour ago.
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters.
With Karl Pilkington.
Yeah, I gave you some initials. The initials sort of made up a band. We had LR, we had NS,
Yeah,
we had FL.
Well, give us the clues. Give us the clues and the answers.
What's it, what?
Right, so LR, the clue was, I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
What's
the
the
answer?
answer?
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
Good.
That's very good. That's very good, Carl. Well done.
All right, okay, next one. FL, blow the candles out before you eat the cake. Yeah, we just played them. Flaming Lips.
There we are.
Very good.
Okay, and the final one was NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like this?
Yeah.
That was NSYNC. Yeah.
NSYNC.
NSYNC, it'd be a bit...
NSYNC.
If you had a sink, you wash up in a sink.
Yeah.
Shaped like an N, you'd be like, oh, have I got everything out?
Has anyone got that? Wow.
Right,
Well,
so-
no, there are right answers. I have to say, Carl, you've done very well. It was an enormous response. I'm just going to click on one of these emails randomly. I'm not even going to look. Who we got here? We've got Kath Turner is the winner. Kath Turner gets those great DVDs and CDs, including
watching Children of the Corn tonight.
Children of the Corn.
She was going out, but I imagine she's going to phone a few friends and say, I can't come out, I'm ill.
Exactly.
They go, you're not watching Children of the Corn. I go, no.
And we've learned as well that there are about 5 other sequels to Children of the Corn, so maybe we'll give those away consecutive
Brilliant.
weeks.
What else have we got to do? Have we got anything else to do? Quick, Carl, what would you rather be, a tree frog or a tree crab? Quick. What would you rather be?
Straight away.
Tree frog or a tree crab?
Tree frog.
Why?
Don't know what one is. You just said pick one quick.
A tree frog or a tree crab? What would you rather be, a tree frog, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you rather be, a tick or a leech? They both suck blood, there's not a lot in it. Go on.
Leech.
Why?
Because I heard they've got, I was reading about them yesterday, they've got 300 teeth. And what they do is, if they get on you, right, and you didn't get it off with a match or anything, it would stay there, and it eat 5 times the amount of blood to make it 5 times bigger than the size of itself.
Oh, you're a scientist.
And then it'll just go, oh, I've had enough, and it falls off.
Okay.
Naturally.
What would you rather be, a puppy or a kitten?
Kitten.
Why?
Just look better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some great adverts there on XFM.
I enjoyed them.
1.9.
Absolutely. We have to give away these 3 pairs. We have to give these away, Rick.
Yeah.
We've got 3 pairs of
I
DJ
know, but
Shadows.
it's got to turn up with this.
And
Is
there's just not enough
so
time.
jam-packed. I think we've planned too much for this show.
We have indeed.
Next week, I think we have a little bit flabbier next week.
Rick,
do less.
Rick, can we chill out next week, please?
Yeah. Go on then.
So yeah, we any ideas, guys? Any questions? Sort of DJ Shadow related questions? Any Shadow,
DJ Shadow.
or DJ questions? Carl, any ideas?
What does the word DJ mean?
Yeah, it's too easy. I'll tell you something I do know.
Go on.
Right. But I can't really get a question out of it.
Go on, just tell us.
There's a shadow somewhere.
It's already good, isn't it?
I'm loving it already.
No, right. There's a shadow. I think it was in America.
Yeah.
And it's on a quiet road. I'm guessing somewhere like Boston. That's what I imagine.
Okay.
Right?
No.
Somewhere like Boston. And people at night used to see this shadow moving about. And they'd go, what's that? Right? And it got known, the town, the little local town got known for this shadow, but it didn't cause any problems. People
What are you talking about?
Well, it was like,
You've lost me.
What are you talking
no,
about?
do you know, like some places get famous, like Scotland's got the Loch Ness Monster and that, but
No,
it doesn't
go
cause
on,
any.
yeah.
But it doesn't cause any problems.
It doesn't exist, go on.
Right, so there's this shadow walking about on the road.
What do you mean? No, what's he again? Rubbish.
Right, so he's walking
Nonsense.
about.
Where did you read this? Where did you
He's
see
walking
this?
about. This was on the internet, and I'm sure.
Sorry. Sorry.
Right.
I thought it was shite. I didn't know it was on the internet.
Right, so this shadow is moving about, and
Independently of an object.
yeah, and the local mayor and that is like, yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's not harming anyone.
The mayor involved.
Was he elected to that post?
Hey, mayor, we got a problem down here. Seems like a shadow. Well, it's not causing any. No, it was
Is
just
it causing any problems?
Yeah, go on.
But that's the thing. It was left for years, and then it did start causing problems.
I see, that's it. If you leave these shadows to go unchecked, Rick, they go crazy.
Yeah.
You let them run amok in the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
You've got to stand
What did
around
it do?
on
What did it
Roman
do?
shadows.
What did the shadow do?
It was pushing people off the bikes.
It was what?
It was pushing people off the bikes.
Oh,
I'll find out more for that next week. Right, that'll tease
oh,
them.
you're a maniac.
We'll do more on that. We haven't had time for educating.
Please never have children.
Right, listen.
You're
Just promise me now you'll never have kids.
We haven't got time.
Okay,
now,
listen.
so-
All right, DJ Shadow, have we got time for these to give these tickets away?
Yeah, if they just call up, we'll.
No, I'll tell you what. I've got a question. Right?
Go on.
Where does Karl think this may have taken place? If you've been listening to the show, where do you think this evil shadow has been running amok? Let us know. The number, Karl?
08700 800 1234. So,
Excellent.
but that's it. We are actually out of time.
We are indeed.
now.
Have I got time for a song for the ladies?
It's a bit tight. I was
Why?
told to finish
It's
now.
5:02.
I know, but we've got to get finished early today. So
Why?
just because we have, and we're wasting more time talking about why we have to.
Oh, this is pathetic.
So they call up. Where did they see the ghost?
Yeah.
And you've got to pick the tickets up from reception. You can go tonight, see DJ Shadow. That's
Shoddy.
it.
This
Right?
is shoddy.
Right. See you then.